Okay, guys, hopefully the stream is back on now. Shot in by Mitchell. He got knocked down by a punch. Okay, guys, I hope the stream is back on. I'm trying it again. I restarted it again. It says excellent condition, excellent connection now. Bryce is in on a takedown attempt here. Silva had knocked him down early. If you guys are not having a stream, if you guys aren't able to see it, Bryce kind of pulling guard here. Not successful. Silva on a front headlock. They break the clinch. Silva looks to be fresher, the fresher man of the two. And now Bryce shooting another sloppy leg entry here. Sloppy shot in the legs. Bryce is looking like he's a bit winded here. We're at 3 minutes, 13 seconds of round 2. 3:12, 3:11, 3:10. Silva seems like he's just in play mode now. He's just kind of playing. He sees everything Bryce is doing. And Bryce is a little bit bloodied up. Silva's kind of looking away. He's kind of toying with Bryce. Which I think is kind of crazy. It's really crazy. You know, he shouldn't be so nonchalant. Bryce with a nice elbow attempt here, kind of grazed Silva. Silva looking like he's toying with Bryce right now. He landed a nice elbow. Sloppy leg kick by Bryce. Sloppy shot again by Bryce. Bryce is kind of slowing down here. It's still early now. We're halfway through the fight. 2:30. Another shot by Bryce, not close at all. They're clinching now up against the fence. Silva turns them around with ease. But I feel like Silva's kind of like messing around too much. You know, he should be careful. He was like fighting Bryce, looks away, and it's fighting Bryce, looking away from Bryce. You know, like kind of like getting a little too cocky here for my taste. Another shot by Bryce. This time he's in tight. Leg comes out. Bryce now up against the fence. Ate a couple of shots here by Silva. You know, Bryce is looking very fatigued now. He's been working hard. He got knocked down early in round 2. Low kick by Bryce again. So far, that's been his best weapon. Yeah, it does look like Silva can do whatever he wants, Mad Mamluks. But still, I just feel like you shouldn't, you know, when you're fighting with 4-ounce gloves, you shouldn't toy around so much. You know, you should get the job done. You should be more cautious, you know. Ooh, nice combo by Silva. Beautiful right hand, left shot to the body. Elbows by Silva now. Bryce is in on the leg. Another Allen key choke. Ninja choke. He's got Bryce tight here. Bryce is trying to roll out of the ninja choke. He's out. He's tapping. Jean Silva taps out Bryce Mitchell. Well, he subbed him, and he kind of looked like he was toying with him in round 2, like really just toying with him. But it's risky business, you know. You could be doing so well in the fight. You could be crushing a guy. You could be like, you know, telling yourself I have this guy's timing or whatnot. One punch, one wrong shot, one wrong move, 4-ounce gloves, you know, a kick to the head. So, I mean, round 1 was more competitive. Silva won round 1. He landed a nice wheel kick that hit Bryce Mitchell in the face. Actually, when I rewatched it, it actually connected beautifully. It connected a lot more than the first time I saw it. They kind of switched camera angles, I think. I'm not sure exactly, but the first time when we're watching it live, we didn't get a good view, I should say. And no, Bryce Mitchell had a nice competitive first round. Second round, he started breaking. Early in round 2, he got hit with a good straight, got dropped. And Silva's kind of losing his mind in the octagon right now. He's acting a little bit like erratic. Like he's doing weird things. He's hanging off the cage in weird ways, like a gargoyle or something. There you go. He had landed a left hook, right hand, dropped Bryce. Kind of seemed also like a bit of a trip, but it was definitely a powerful shot. Knocked him down with a good right hand. And just toyed with him in round 2. Really just toyed with him. Put on a sub. He put on that Allen key, we call it, the ninja choke. And Bryce tried hard to spin out of it. Couldn't. Got caught in deep north-south ninja choke. And he got it. I called it, Coach Tanvir. So did many other people. I think Silva was the heavy favorite. I assume so. Coach Coach, speaking of losing his mind, what do you think about crazy stuff coming out of BJ Penn? That's from Mort, the Mad Mamluk. Wow, I really feel bad for BJ. He's such a great fighter. You could tell that it's a dark time in his life, and I wish him well, man. I've had some interactions with him. I've had interactions now with him in this period of his life, and I could tell you, yeah, he's not well. He's really, really not well, and I wish him well. Jean Silva seems overly overcome with emotion. He's super excited, super. Let's see what he says. He's acting crazy again. Hanging off the cage now. Barking. I'm going to put the volume in the background. Silva was clearly levels above Mitchell. That's from Abu. Abu, you're 100% right. He was levels ahead. That's right. They're in Miami. Guys, that was a total domination. Total. Total domination starting from round 2. Round 2 was a total domination. Round 1 was competitive. I got to give it to him. Bryce did well in round 1. It was a tough round 1, but competitive for both guys. He landed some kicks. But Silva was like joking around from the beginning. Straight from the beginning. Biggest mismatch of the night. That's from Mad Mamluk. You're 100% right. That looked like what I think a lot of us thought it would look like. But Jean was really, like, in my opinion, taking it, too lightly. It's a fight, man. You can get hit with a bad shot. You can get kicked to the head back. Like, you get kneed. Things can change in a second in a big fight like that. Look, he's a lot better than Bryce. He's better everywhere. Ground, wrestling, striking, speed, endurance, physical strength, power. I mean, he's got everything on him. Still, you can get hit on the button and end up on your back. It happens. It's just crazy. Who do you got between Patty and Chandler? That's a good one. You know what? If it was a 5-rounder, I'd have more confidence to say Patty. But I'm still picking Patty. But a 5-rounder, I'd have more confidence picking Patty. But also, you know what? A lot of people are saying, Chandler's on the big Flintstones, if you know what I mean, because he's looking super shredded. So, people are speculating. If that's true, it can make a massive difference. A lot of people think it doesn't. Some people think it doesn't. Well, it does. That's why they call them performance enhancing, right? They enhance your performance. So, look, I'm not saying he is on it, but I'm just saying there's a big controversy over it. A lot of people saying he's obviously on something. He's obviously on something. The guy's been training his whole life. He's past his peak. How could he get more shredded, more muscular? How could he? Well, it's possible if you follow a strict diet plan and you hit the weights, but unlikely, right? If you're doing a lot of endurance training, it's hard to get, But again, that's all speculation. Does Ivloev submit Jean Silva? That's him. Yeah. Well, Ivloev hasn't really submitted anybody. I think his last submission was probably outside of UFC. I can't think of any fight he's finished in the UFC, actually. Does he beat Jean Silva? That would be a mega fight. That would be an incredible fight. But it might be too early for Jean Silva to get Movsar. I think they're going to wait on that. I have a feeling UFC is not going to want that. They wouldn't want Jean to get stifled or smothered by a Movsar, because the thing is, it's like, we got to be honest here, okay? UFC wants the most exciting fighter as the champion. the most marketable, the most charismatic, the most fun to watch fighter to be champion. Why? We all know why, right? Big bucks, big money. Jean Silva is like an entertainer. He's an entertainer. Fighting wise, inside the octagon, outside the octagon. He's a charismatic guy. Movsar's very reserved. His fighting style is also very careful in ways. I like it. I like to watch him fight. But some things are almost like he's draining the clock. That's got to be an honest criticism. You know, he's like almost draining the clock, trying to fight in a way that's going to give him an advantage, but also drain the clock. So people don't want to pay big money. They don't want to fly all the way to another country or to Las Vegas or whatnot to just watch a guy kind of fight that way. So he's a great fighter. He has tremendous skill. He's super dangerous, super skilled. No question. But if he wants to have a title shot, he's got to entice the UFC and say, look, I'm going to fight a certain way that's going to entertain the people who are paying for those fights. It's just part of the business, you know. It's just part of the business. Coach, any chance of visiting Pakistan? That's from Saeed. I would love to visit Pakistan, but I don't have anything scheduled in the near future. But I would definitely love to visit Pakistan. Paddy versus Chandler is indeed 5 rounds. Is it? Is it scheduled for 5? It's the co-main event. You're right. Actually, it is 5 rounds. Thank you. Michael L., you're right. It's the co-main event. How could I forget? Thank you very much, Mike L. You are a gentleman and a scholar. That is a great thing for Paddy. I think it gives him more time to work. Gives him more. I think it's an advantage for Paddy. Because if you watch Chandler, you know, he's a great fighter, but he's also kind of wild and crazy and reckless. And I think if Paddy has more time, the more he can capitalize on a wild and crazy, reckless move that Chandler would do and get a sub, you know, because Paddy's very good with submissions. He's very good with subs. So if Chandler gets into a crazy scramble one too many times, makes a wrong move, Paddy has a good chance of putting on a submission hold. All right, guys. Making some protein coffee right now. That's some Joseph. Joseph, I had 2 protein coffees today, man. It's the way to go. It's the way to go. Shiz, my man. Sup, coach? This is a surprise. Love your breakdowns, Paddy. The baddie struggled to finish 40-year-old Tony Ferguson for 3 rounds, and it isn't that interesting, coach. Question mark. How good is Paddy's cardio? Shiz, that's a fantastic point. He didn't finish Tony, but the thing is, Tony, he's a freak, man. He's just different. Okay, so he, of course, Paddy fought him when he was on a slide and all that, but that's just a very different. How should I say? It's a very different chemistry between the two. You're right. You could be totally right, but you know how MMA math, right? MMA math almost never works. You can't say, look, fighter A beat fighter B, therefore he'll beat fighter C, because fighter B beat fighter C. That all makes sense, right? And it turns out it doesn't. Fighter C beats fighter A, who beat fighter B, and fighter B had beat fighter C. And it's like you're looking at the math, and it's like nothing makes sense. So you got to look even closer. You got to be like, what is it about their styles? Because there's so many ways to lose a fight, right? And this is a much better Paddy. Paddy's much evolved, whereas Chandler's, you know, his game is what it is. It's solidified. He's past the days where he's probably trying to learn things that are outside of his comfort zone. Oh, we got Pitbull and Yair coming up. That's an interesting fight. You know, that's also a very interesting fight. I like Yair for 3 rounds, but if this was a main event, which it could be, could definitely be a main event. For those of you who don't know Pitbull's a Bellator, multiple-time Bellator champion. He's the greatest, probably, Bellator fighter ever. Like, most decorated Bellator fighter ever. And he's making his UFC debut versus Yair Rodriguez. This should be a 5-round fight, man. This is a huge fight. A former UFC champion versus a Bellator champion versus one of the most decorated Bellator champions. I can't think of anybody who's more decorated than him. And it should be a 5-rounder. These guys are very experienced. I'd want to see this for 5 rounds. For 3 rounds, I do like Yair. If this was a 5-rounder, I would heavily favor Pitbull. Coach, I have BJJ in 5 hours. Should I sleep or watch the fights? That's from Alibaba. Alibaba, you got to watch the fights, man. This is a mega card. This is a mega card. There are many cards you could skip, but not this one. This is a mega card. You got Yair Rodriguez coming up against Pitbull. That's a really, really historic fight. You have a former Bellator champion coming into UFC, fighting a former UFC champion. This is huge. This is huge, man. Pitbull is a legend. Coach, have you listened to JRE's Murray and Dave Smith debate about Palestine? That's from CSS Voden. Yes, I did. I heard it, and it's kind of ridiculous. I think Murray really, he filibustered. It was horrible. He's a horrible debater. He made so many errors. He made so many historical errors. He made so many logical errors. And I can tell you something, okay? Right off the bat, I'll talk about this more in my AMA because now we're between fights, but it was really ridiculous. First off, he's trying to say, if you're not an expert, you shouldn't talk about subjects you're not an expert in. Then I Googled, what is his degree in? Like, what does this man go to school for? I'm like, he must be a historian or something. I look it up. He majored in English literature. And I'm like, he's talking about a subject. He's an ambassador for a particular country that I'm not going to say right now because we're streaming live. And he's saying non-experts shouldn't give their opinion. He was ragdolling. He was on the case of Joe Rogan's friends and guests, and he's like, they're talking about subjects they're not expert in. They're not expert in these subjects. So I Google his degree. I'm like, this man must be an expert in history. Turns out he's an English lit major. So what the hell is he talking about the Middle East for? He's not an expert in the Middle East yet. He's complaining that people who don't have a history degree or a degree in politics or he's such a hypocrite. Such a hypocrite. Guys, let me tell you something. You don't have to have a degree in crime or in history to have an opinion if you can base your opinion on facts. Okay, so we have people that give us the facts. We have subject matter experts that go out into the world and they study their domain and they come back and they report to us. They give us data, they give us facts. And we can decide whether these actions are moral or immoral. That's something everybody can chime in. Morality is something everybody can chime in and give their opinion. It's not like we're out there giving medical prescriptions. He's got it completely wrong. So basically, he started the whole debate with ad hominem, just insulting and discrediting his interlocutor. He's trying to say, look, Dave Smith is not a subject matter expert, but guess what? Neither are you. And nobody claimed he was a subject matter expert. We're here to have a conversation about what we're seeing in the news. And here's the craziest thing. Guys, I'm just going to go through this spiel because the fighters are still getting in the fight. They're still walking into the octagon. What's crazy is Douglas Murray is such a imbecile because every expert on the matter, almost every expert, by and large, even Jewish historians like Ilya Pape, Finkelstein, Noam Chomsky, the most cited scholar alive today, probably one of the most cited scholars in history and the most cited scholar alive today, a Jewish American, is saying, look, this is the G word. It's criminal offense. It's a war crime. It's unacceptable. All the criticisms from the experts are out there. They're in print. The ICC, the International Criminal Court, before October 7, they said they went and they investigated what's going on in the Middle East. And they said, look, that country, Israel, is responsible for war crimes against humanity. This is before October 2023. Nothing came of it. Why? Because the U.S. always vetoes and protects them, and other countries also. A handful of countries. It's a known fact that these crimes occur. Listen to me, every international body, every NGO, non-governmental organization, they all say the same thing. It's a crime, it's a crime, it's a crime. They're breaking international law. It's a crime, it's a crime, it's a crime, it's a crime. So he's saying, look, you're non-experts, don't disagree with me. But the non-experts and the experts disagree with Douglas Murray. It's just such a crazy, failed attempt at making an argument. So what we call that, guys, my degree is in philosophy. For those of you who don't know, I studied logic formally. We call it an ad hominem because instead of attacking the argument, he's attacking the person. Okay, so that's an ad hominem. And he's also committing the genetic fallacy. Because the argument comes from this person, it must be wrong. It's called the genetic fallacy, okay? Regardless of where the argument comes from, you have to engage with the substance of the argument. Okay, so a good logician will say, look, engage the substance of the argument. He didn't do that. He filibustered. He just talked about it. He just railed on everybody. So, for instance, look, if I was a juror in a court, and the court case is a rape case, okay? I'm going to use the word graped because, the algorithm. If I'm on the jury and they tell me, look, have you ever been a victim or perpetrator of this crime? No, I've never had the experience, either side. Well, then you're not a subject matter expert. You can't give your opinion on this. Dismissed. So are you telling me that everybody on the jury should be a victim or a perpetrator? Because that's what he was trying to say. He was like trying to say, oh, you haven't been there? You haven't been to the area? You can't have an opinion. Again, genetic fallacy, appeal to authority, ad hominem. It's just totally ridiculous. The guy, man, my favorite part of the whole podcast, and I couldn't listen to the whole thing because Douglas Murray was just like, he wasn't engaging with any argument. And he made so many errors. I should write an article on this. Joe Rogan, the best part was Joe Rogan was like, hey man, stop interrupting. And Joe is the sweetest, nicest guy. I've met him many times. He's a very sweet guy. He's so friendly, so polite. He's very accommodating to his guests. And he was like, hey, you got to stop interrupting. He was like this close to telling Murray, shut the hell up, man. Just shut your mouth. Let this man talk. Murray was so scared to engage with any substance of Dave Smith's conversation. And Dave Smith, guys, he's informed on the subject and he's a comedian. Now, if you brought a Finkelstein or an Ilian Pape, he would have got crushed. But again, Douglas Murray is just a coward, man. He's just a coward. He's on the payroll. He's a sellout. I don't know what's up his... he's very close to the Israeli government. He's very close. I don't know why I guess he's just a propagandist, but he's trying to sell his book, and I don't think anybody wants to buy his book, but he went on Joe Rogan to, do his little tour. And anybody who's convinced that he said anything of substance is completely uninformed. You're completely uninformed because literally every single international body, judges from around the world, from nations around the world, are all saying Douglas Murray is completely wrong. These are war crimes. These are crimes against humanity. These are crimes against children. It's completely ridiculous. So anyways, what can I say? He's a walking contradiction. He's more than just a walking contradiction. He's a sellout, man. He's a sellout. He's a coward. He's a coward. What's good is that podcast is going to be on the internet for a long, long time. People go back and review and see that this guy was an animal. He was a filthy sellout. All right, guys. I'm glad to see that my stream is working well. The fight is about to start. We are moments away from starting the Yair Pitbull fight, guys. I'm going to let you know when the fight starts. Right when it starts, I'm going to give you the time so you can pause and follow me. This is Yair versus Pitbull, UFC versus Bellator. Guys, I can cite you many inaccuracies that he said. Many. He said, oh, the Palestinians were given a state. They were never given a state. They were imprisoned in a blockade. That's not a state. They don't govern themselves. They don't control their own resources. They don't control their border. They don't control anything. They don't control their electricity. They don't control. Okay, the fight is starting. It has started, guys. We're in round one. We're at 453, 452, 451, 450, 449, 448, 447. All right, guys. The fight has started. Pitbull and Yair, two former champions. One a former UFC champion. One former two division Bellator champion. Pitbull, guys. He beat Chandler at 155 for the Bellator belt. A legend in the Bellator cage. Pitbull is more of a puncher. Yair more of a kicker. I don't think we're going to see too much wrestling in this fight. It's going to be a striking battle. Sneeko is a public, you know what, denier. I'm not going to say the word. It's public. That's from Adam Rogers. Well, I hope that's not true. I mean, I will talk to him about it, and I would like to hear his arguments because it's something that's very well known, very well documented. I wouldn't deny such a thing. And that's the thing, Israel shouldn't deny the Nakba. In Israel, you cannot deny the Holocaust, legally speaking, but you cannot commemorate the Nakba. They should commemorate the Nakba. It happened. Why deny one person's suffering while forcing everyone to acknowledge another person's? So I don't think there should be force either way. But what I'm trying to say is it's hypocritical. You hate it when people deny your suffering, but you, by law, deny other people's suffering. It's just we got to get on the same standard. We got to make one standard for all of humanity. We got to treat people fairly, justly. When you don't have justice, that's what creates all the drama. That's what creates all the fighting, all the friction. Nice explosive kicking by Yair, as to be expected. He's one of the best kickers in the game. Pitbull, not much activity from Pitbull yet. Really nothing much to say so far. We're 2 minutes 35 seconds in, and Pitbull and Yair have not really landed much. They're just kind of like faking, throwing fakes at each other, faking fake shots, not really connecting yet. Just a lot of pump fakes so far. Scissor kick by Yair. I mean, just kind of grazed Pitbull. Nothing really connected, nothing too hard. Yair going in Sapa stance. Pitbull kind of just pump faking that jab, kind of level changing. And, he's got the shorter reach, so he's got to break through. He's got to break through that reach to find his target. Yair trying to keep him at kicking distance, it seems. Oh, Yair lands a beautiful head kick. Switches stance, shuffles his legs, goes into a switch, and lands a beautiful head kick. Connects beautifully. That's the best strike of the round so far. Nice body kick by Yair. Oblique kick, and then a body kick by Yair. Body lock attempt by Pitbull. Yair has the speed advantage and reach. Nice knee from Yair. Foot sweep attempt. Pitbull. Failed attempt. Yair throws a 1-2. Partially connects. Partial 1-2 shot from Pitbull. 1 minute, 7 seconds. Yair's got those legs, man. He's got those legs, man. Those legs are no joke. Yair's got the speed and reach advantage, it seems. Teep kick attempt from Yair straight to the chin of Pitbull. It didn't reach. Oh, sweep kick by Pitbull. Pitbull's now on top. Yair getting in turtle position, going to guard. Half guard position for Yair. That changed quickly. Yair went for a kick. Pitbull caught it, kicked the leg out from underneath. Yair got a takedown with a kick. Yair in a hard twist from half guard bottom. Guys, remember we had our debate about half guard. Is half guard great or not? I don't think it's the best guard. Pitbull on top. Yair on the bottom and half guard. Let's see what happens. Let's see. Maybe Yair does some magic from half guard. Let's see if he gets something going here. 7 seconds left. Pitbull steal the round. I don't think so. I think the head kick was worth more than the cut kick and control on the ground. Pitbull complaining about hits to the back of the head. Yair saying, no, I didn't do that, whatever. But a good head kick by Yair. I give it to Yair for that nice head kick connection, and he had a good body kick as well. I think he did more damage. Pitbull scored some control time at the end, but in my opinion, he didn't do any ground and pound. He didn't do any damage. So I got Yair. Guys, let me know who you got in this one. He spent the first 45 minutes saying Dave is not qualified to speak on the topic. That's wrong in principle and also hypocritical. That's from Zach. That's what I'm telling you. It was so hard to listen to because Joe is trying to accommodate everybody. He's trying to be nice. And this guy's just like, you're not an expert. You're not an expert. Dude, your degree's in English literature. Shut the hell up, man. What the hell? Just engage with the argument. Stop trying to ad hominem. Stop trying. It's called poisoning the well. You're trying to tell everybody, hey, this guy is a bad person. He's not credible or whatnot. You're trying to poison the well. That's what we call poisoning the well. Dude, just engage with the argument. Just engage with the content of my argument. If I'm so uneducated on the topic, you should dismantle me. If you know so much and I know so little, you should dismantle me. Engage. It's like, it was a horrific podcast because Douglas Murray is really scared to engage with the content. That's it. All right, guys, round 2, we're at 450, 449, 448, 447, 446, 445. Round 1, in my opinion, went to Yair. Here's the thing, like, Yair might be winning on points right now. Like, he might be ahead. He might seem to have the speed advantage, but I'll tell you something. Pitbull's got a lot of power. Don't count him out. He's a very dangerous guy. Does definitely seem like Yair has the speed and reach advantage right now. And he's very tricky with his footwork and kicks. You know, very tricky. But let's see how this fight plays out because Pitbull's got that dangerous punching power. It just seems like Pitbull's not able to close the distance. He's just really not able to close the distance. Oh, there's a nice combination by Pitbull. He landed a nice left uppercut. Counter punch by Pitbull. Right hand, left hook. Beautiful shot. Body kick by Yair. Yair saying, no, I didn't kick you below the belt. Patricky Pitbull lands another shot. Another shot. Beautiful shot here. This fight is heating up now. This fight is heating up. Both men very explosive, but it just seems Yair has the reach. You know, he's using that reach very wisely. Yair switching stance, throwing a hook. Nothing really landing just yet. Right now, this is close, but I got to give a slight edge to Pitbull right now. We're 3:07 in the third. Slight edge to Pitbull on my books. They're not really able to find their target. Neither man really able to find their target, but Pitbull did land a better shot so far. Again, still very up for grabs here. Combination attempt by Yair. Yair looks really relaxed. He looks really relaxed. Counter punch again by Pitbull. Double leg attempt. He gets it to the ground. Beautiful. Pitbull now on top. Beautiful double leg attempt. Gets Yair to the ground. Yair back up to his feet. Pitbull landed a nice counter punch combination. Another counter punch by Pitbull. 2.5 minutes in. This fight is getting more and more heated. I got Pitbull slightly ahead here still. Nice punch by Yair. Good right hand. Switching stances again. He's switching stances mid-combination. Yair back to controlling the distance. We're at 2 minutes in, guys. If you wanna coordinate your stream with mine, we got 2 minutes. Sorry, we got 1 minute 53 seconds. 152, 151, 150. Counter punch attempt by Pitbull misses, just misses. This is a very close round. Oh, head kick attempt. Another body kick attempt from Yair. Connects with the body kick. The head kick was partially blocked. Another grazing head kick attempt here. Punch combination by Pitbull. Grazes Yair. Very close round right now, guys. This is a very difficult round to judge. Somebody's got to do something big here. This round is still up for grabs. Counter punch by Pitbull. Nothing, not too much on it, but a good counter left hook. Low kick by Yair. Pitbull is the man advancing right now. 1 minute left. Who's going to want this round? Who's going to fight for this round? They're still up for grabs this round. I got Pitbull's. Oh, nice combination by Yair. Nice kick by Yair. Grazes Pitbull here. Good activity by Yair. Yair, nice body kick. 1-2 combination. 1-2-3 combination, I should say. He followed up with a hook. Switches. Nice jab. I think Yair is going to steal this round. 37 seconds left. Shot attempt by Pitbull. Yair foot sweep attempt. Pitbull double leg attempt. Body lock here from Pitbull. I don't know. This is a close round, guys. Very close round. I might have. Oh man, I hate this. This is so close. This is a very close round. Oh, takedown by Yair. Oh, this will cinch the round for him. This was a very close round. Yair scores a Haragoshi. Beautiful. Guys, I got a 2-0 Yair, but very close rounds. This is going to be a controversial fight, I think. Pitbull did little damage on the ground. Unfortunately, you're completely right. He didn't do much damage on the ground. I got Yair both rounds, even though the second round was tight, guys. But he got the takedown at the end, and even then, before the takedown at the end, it was very tight. I had Yair maybe by slightest margin. Yes, very good takedown defense by Yair. Tanvir says 2-0 for Yair. I agree with you, but I could see it also as 1-1. I wouldn't see it as 1-1. I think if you go by the book, Yair should be winning this. Nice takedown by Pitbull, but he couldn't do anything with it. Those combos and kick at the end put him over. That's from Mort. And also that beautiful Haragoshi. That was fantastic. All right, guys, we're going into the third. Hey, Coach, is Yair one of the most exciting fighters in UFC? That's from Charles. Charles, I would definitely say so. Yes. This might not be the most exciting fight right now, but it is definitely, he's one of the most exciting fighters. He's got an incredible style, very fun to watch. It's just that this fight is so close, you know. It's such a... These guys are, they're both so quick and so dangerous that both guys are being a little bit careful, and it's normal. I like these kind of fights as well, you know. I just find that fans usually complain, but really it's not easy to do what they're doing in there, you know. These guys they're playing with millimeters and milliseconds here. All right, guys, we're at 417, 416, 415, 414, 413, 412, 411, 410 of the third round. Pitbull versus Yair. Head kick attempt by Yair. Nice combinations by Yair, but nothing really landing. Pitbull able to defend so far. Body punch by Pitbull. Very nice body punch. If I was Pitbull, I would look to end this right now. I would go for broke. Like, I would get ready to take damage. Nice 1-2 by Pitbull. All right, back kick by Yair. Misses. Pitbull on the hunt here. Pitbull going for it. I think Pitbull knows he's down. Body kick by Yair. Pitbull not checking any of those kicks, just letting them go. Kind of checking them on the forearm, but not checking them with his shin bone like he should. Because those kind of kicks can break your arm. They can hurt your arm. They can impede you from punching. They can numb your arm. Pitbull on the hunt. He's got 3 minutes, 10 seconds. If I was him, I would get to work right now. He's got to take risks. Pitbull needs to take risks. If he's serious about winning this fight, he's got to move forward. Pitbull saying low blow. He got grazed here a little bit. But if I was Pitbull now, I would start moving forward. Not an easy thing to do, but he's got to go for it. Overhand right attempt misses by Pitbull. Jumping knee attempt. The hook lands by Pitbull. Nice right hand by Yair. Drops Pitbull. Yair on top doing some ground and pound. Pitbull down by a right hand. Down by a right hand. Hammer fist by Yair. We got 2 minutes 31. 2 minutes 30 seconds left in the third round. This looks like a cruising round now for Yair. Pitbull not looking in good shape right here. I really see maturity in Yair's game. Mort, I couldn't agree with you more. He fought beautifully so far. It's looking really good. Yair's probably never looked better. He's looking fantastic. He's fighting a very dangerous guy. Maybe people who are not familiar with Bellator, they don't know Pitbull, but Pitbull is a dangerous man. He's definitely one of the best 45ers in the world. There's no question about it. And Yair is doing his work. Yair ground and pound. Pitbull not trying to get up. Not trying to get up. I think he's hurt. You know, he looks like he's hurt to me. If I was Pitbull, I'd be scrambling. Guys, please do not spam the chat. Armbar attempt. What? Where did this come from? This tight. It's tight. Pitbull on an armbar attempt. Yair's out now. Standing position. I think he's going to stand him up. No. Yair's still pressuring him. We got 1:15 left. 1 minute 15 left. Pitbull wrestling up now. He's trying to get into a single. Try to wrestle up. Yair blocks him. Leg lock attempt. Look at this. Yair on a leg lock. In a Kani Basami. He's in a cross ashi here. Let's go. Leg lock attempt by Yair. Counter leg lock attempt by Pitbull. Pitbull is looking a little bit tired here. He's got an Achilles lock. He's going for a Hail Mary Achilles lock. Doesn't seem like he's got it, but Yair going for I'm not even sure what you call it. Like an ankle. Achilles lock. All right. Back to a heel hook attempt by Yair. 32 seconds left. Pitbull scrambling to his knees, trying to pull out of this leg lock. Yep, he's going to get back to his feet. He's going to go for broker here. He's got 20 seconds to try to put Yair out. Let's see what Pitbull does. He understands the situation he's in. 15 seconds left. Yair dancing. Knows he's won this fight. Pitbull, he should be in the hot pursuit right now. I think Pitbull's going to accept one last exchange. I don't think he's even going to try it. 4 seconds left. Spinning heel kick by Yair. Gets close to the target. Pitbull, I think he knew he was not much hope for him. Great performance, guys. I'm going to say this is probably Yair's best performance ever. He looks more mature, more precise, more calculated, fast, explosive, maybe faster than ever. Good fight against an incredibly experienced fighter. Amazing work by Yair. If this guy is Bellator's double champion, that's from Tanvir. Guys, look, Bellator is, I'll tell you guys something. Bellator is it's super high level, but it's not the same level as UFC. UFC is the next level, guys. If I had to rank them, I would put like PFL, Bellator, UFC, but UFC, I'll put it even higher. Like it's just hyper competitive. It's just another level of competition. I know PFL absorbed Bellator, but I'm talking about like over the years, I think Bellator for the longest time was second best to UFC. And that's, of course, excluding Pride. Pride, it's another story. It's another era. I think it was last year, Bellator, or the year before, Bellator was absorbed by PFL. So now a lot of the Bellator fighters are going to PFL. I get it. But Pitbull was in the golden era of Bellator. So he's their best champion probably ever. And look, he lost to Yair, but Yair is also former UFC champion. So he's a very special fighter himself. Okay, guys, like I said, it was a very close first round, but at the end, Yair edged round 2. And then you have a round 3 where Yair takes it up a notch, drops him, ground and pounds, and then steps back into a cross ashi and tries to heel hook him. An amazing performance by Yair. Hey, Coach, do you think Pitbull lacked the enthusiasm of a young man coming into this fight? That's from Charles. Well, I think he was just being real careful because Yair has a very particular style. He's very quick. He's very tricky. He's spinning. He's switching. He's shuffling. He's doing complex movements while he's throwing a combination that are hard to track. So I think it was more about that. But in the end, I think Pitbull should have went after it a little more. All right, mister, I gotta put you in timeout now. I gotta put one of the kiddies in timeout. I'm gonna put you in a 30-minute timeout because you keep spamming. So now you've been banned for 30 minutes. Assalamu alaikum, Mr. the man from Nepal. Assalamu alaikum. How would you implement strength training for astronauts? That's from Cayenne. Cayenne, I'd probably use stretch bands, obviously because you're in outer space, right? But you got to create tension on the body. I would probably use isometrics, and because it'll make you less sore than stretch bands, and I would probably use stretch bands as well. So I'd do a mix of the two, but I would definitely get them using isometrics. Isometrics is fantastic for the system. Why would Chamberg be in George's corner? That's from Adam Rogers. Well, he was a big part of our preparation in the early days. He would help us do strength and conditioning with George, of course. And when you have a championship fight, you have a lot of extra cornermen. So we'd bring him along, just to keep him part of the team. And as we had more martial arts coaches come by our way and we found coaches who we were comfortable with, we started adding an extra expert in the corner. But the thing is also, you have to remember, sometimes too many experts can kind of step on each other's toes. So we wanted to balance how many people were giving advice in the corner as well, So it was a balance game. The viewer count is glitching. Well, it might be, but that's not a concern as long as the stream is nice and smooth. Guys, I want to know, was this Yair's best performance ever? Hold on a second. Start a poll. Yair's best performance ever? Was this Yair's best performance ever? It auto-corrected to yard. All right, let's start per poll. I think it was, guys. In my opinion, it was his best performance ever. Live fight with coach. I click. Shanku. That's from CXK. Thank you, my friend. I don't know what Shanku means, but I hope it means... Oh, thank you. It's a typo. Thank you, CXK. You're the man. You're a gentleman and a scholar. Orale Yair. That's from Vaimast. You're right, man. Orale all the way. That was an incredible performance. He got into a big beef with Lopez at the press conference. I saw that. So, I mean, if Lopez needs an opponent, it's probably going to be Yair. Yair's fighting at that level, man, at championship level. Performing at a championship level. 74% so far are saying it's his best performance ever. I got to agree. I think it's Yair's best performance ever. He's looking really stellar. Nah, subbing Emmett was crazy impressive. He also lit Dan Hooker up. Contrell, I agree. Those were great fights. But this was a great fight as well because he was fighting a dynamite stick. Like, guys, Patricky Pitbull is dangerous, man. Look, he's had many great performances. Just this one looked stellar to me. Video games train precision and reaction speed down to the millisecond in some games. Should video games be part of martial arts training? That's from Talal. It's hard to say because you'd have to have a study, does it translate to fighting? I don't know. I know Demetrius Johnson plays a lot of video games. I played Street Fighter with him. We played together. We still talk about it whenever I see him. We talk about the time I beat him in Street Fighter. He thought I was naive to the ways of the Street Fighter. He doesn't know that I was a Street Fighter generation. I grew up with the Street Fighter generation. And yes, I used to play Ryu and I used to love Street Fighter as a kid. Anytime I found a quarter, I would collect it and go to the arcade. There was a video store in walking distance from my house. They had Street Fighter 2 Special Edition. I would play it all the time. I was obsessed with the game for a few years. And I don't play it much. I don't play much video games. Sometimes I play with my kids. Sometimes for fun. We play Mortal Kombat or whatever. And I love combat games. I do. But does it translate to fighting? I don't know. I don't know. We'd need a study. What else we got here? Salam, coach. MMA guru read Bible verse on the stream for Bryce to win. We need you to read the Al-Fatiha for our brother Volk to even the universe. That's from Link. Well, Link, I wouldn't do that like that. I think it's kind of mocking. I think it's kind of disrespectful. I think it's kind of like making light and making joke. I don't think we should do that. It's not respectful. So I wouldn't do that. But I did see the interview. I did see some of Bryce Mitchell's interview with Guru. I found it kind of entertaining, because they're so... I think like Guru was kind of laying a runway for Bryce, if I should say. He was kind of letting Bryce do his thing and not getting in his way. And it was kind of funny how their two characters kind of interjected. Guru was like wanting to talk about the fight at first, I think. But Bryce kind of jumped into the crazy stuff right away, flat earth and this and that. And well, I don't even know if he mentioned the flat earth. He just started mentioning, his ideas about physics, etc. the crazy stuff, the stuff you don't take too seriously, when you hear that kind of stuff. But it was funny. It was just funny. It was dynamic. It was just seemed like, Guru was trying not to laugh. That's the impression I got. Coach, I feel like Bryce is too small for featherweight. That's from Michael. No, I don't think so. I think he's quite a big featherweight. I wouldn't say he's a small featherweight. No way. Hunter said that Yair gets a title shot. Why isn't Mofsar getting it? That's from Yahya. It's no secret, the UFC doesn't want guys who kind of drain the clock. People complain about Mofsar's fighting style, and if they had to watch that for 5 rounds, I think it could be a problem. It could be a problem for attendance or viewership. We got to be honest, guys. I don't have any ill will towards Mofsar. I think he's a great fighter. He's a stellar fighter, but the truth is, he's not the most popular fighter with the fans. I like to watch him fight. I think he's very incredible. I think he's quite impressive. But I understand that people feel like he's kind of like riding the clock. He's doing things to manage the clock. And you got to give the fans what they want. They're the ones paying. At the end of the day, they're the guys paying the pay-per-view. Look, I paid $70 Canadian for pay-per-view for this fight. And I'm happy to do it. Why? It's worth it. I got Yair Pitbull. I'm going to see right now Patty versus Chandler. These are all, in my opinion, main event fights. Then we got the main event. Volk versus Lopez. Like, you can't complain. These guys are all entertainers. People pay big bucks. They want to see what they want to watch. Most people are going to want Yair. They're not going to want Mofsar. That's the truth. Coach, could you talk in Patty the Batty accent for this whole fight? Come on. That's from Tanvir. How does he sound? I'm not really good with accents. Let me see. Let me listen to him. Let me listen to Patty a bit. Patty interview. In the next 2 or 3 years. It's not easy to do. In the next 2 or 3 years. He's funny. I love that accent. Yair was 0-2 before that fight. Mofsar must be next. Beating Lopez, Allen, and Sterling is the best wins in the entire division, and he's undefeated. That's from Will. Will, I get it. Hardcore fans, they want to see those kind of fights, and I understand. I like to watch him fight myself. But you're not thinking like a promoter. That's the thing. You're not thinking like a promoter. The promoters don't pay for the fights. It's the fans that pay for the fights. And I understand the rules. Fighters are always going to fight according to the rules. They're going to maximize their chance to win, and I don't blame the fighters ever. That's why the rules have to change, and the refereeing has to change in a way to make these fighters engage. The fighters must engage, because the thing is, the fighters will always do what the rules allow. Coach, you need the Russian link. $70 is too much. No. I don't want no Russian link, guys. I'm happy to pay, guys. I'm happy to pay. Make sure that you help support these events, especially the big ones, guys. The big ones, it helps it helps the fighters get paid, right? They're selling, they're making numbers. They're making numbers. It's good. I like to help the community, help the market. And you know what? I'm getting a lot for $70, So this is a stat card, maybe the best card of the year. Can you believe Yair went for the heel hook? Oh, that's my brother. Hey, man. Hey, what's up, brother? I was actually happy to see that, because people always complain to me, oh, there's no heel hooks. We never see heel hooks, leg attacks. Well, you saw them tonight. In a mega fight, you saw a heel hook attempt, Achilles lock attempt, counter leg lock attempt. You're going to see more and more of it. Why? Because it takes a long time to learn leg locks. That's the thing. It's so much. So fighters, MMA fighters, they have to wrestle, they have to box, they have to kick, they have to clinch. You have to do so much. So leg locks is like a whole other universe. Like, why are you going to spend so much time in that universe when you should be learning how to kick, knee, punch, and the basic, most statistically successful submissions? You don't have to be a millionaire or own $70, guys. Get a couple of friends over, pitch in $20 each, $5 each, $10 each, watch it together. That's what we used to do. In my day, we didn't have Russian links. We didn't have Russian links to watch stream fights, pirate links. Actually, in my day, we used to go eat food and watch it, like Casual Spa. We used to go watch it. And the establishment would pay for the feed. They would pay a special price, like whatever, 10,000, whatever. And the place would be packed because UFCs were very rare back then. They would happen like every 3, 4, 5 months. So all these sports bars, all these restaurants like Casual Spa would be jam packed. All the fight fans would pack in there, and we'd eat 3, 4 hours. We'd spend the whole night in the Casual Spa. In Canada, we have the famous Casual Spa. Don't tell me this guy's back. Don't tell me I have to put this guy in timeout again. Oh my God, look at this guy. Okay, now I got to put this user out for good. Now he's out for good. He's hidden on this channel. He messed with me twice tonight. Coach, minimum wage by me is equal to less than $2 an hour. $70 is extremely expensive. That's from Isa. Wow. Well, it can't be. Where are you from? $2 an hour. Goodness gracious. Where are you from? All right, guys. Paddy Pimblett is in the cage. Let's see how this fight breaks out. I'm going to tell you guys when the fight starts on my side. Paddy's in the blue corner. Chandler walking in. Does anybody know why he does that wave? What's that wave about? Is that like an English thing? Yep, can live on $70 for 6 months in Pakistan. That's from Portal. Wow. I'm going to retire in Pakistan then. I'm going to come and live with my Pakistani friends when I'm retired. I'll open up a gym. We'll train all day. Live off, $2,000 a year? Great. Fantastic. AMA from Pakistan. That's right. Look out when I retire. I'm going to retire in Pakistan. I'm going to have AMAs. Coach, is it worth buying a grappling dummy to practice BJJ moves? That's from Michael. I think it's good for certain things. It's good for certain drills. It is. If you can afford it, if it's in the budget, if you do a lot of solo training, I think it's good for certain drills. Coach, how do you like living in Montreal? I'm going to move there from Toronto one day. That's from Michael. I love Montreal. As for me, Montreal is home. I'm born and raised here. So I do enjoy it. Michael Chandler making his way to the octagon. Coach, you could open a 50,000 square foot gym for $20K out there. That's from Mort. Let's open up a TriStar in Pakistan, man. Let's make it massive. Let's make it like a PI, like a performance institute. If the real estate is that cheap, let's do it. Didn't I ban this guy? Oh, I did ban him. Yeah, I did. Okay, good. Guys, my brother's in the chat. Why don't you guys ask my brother some questions? Huh? How about that? How about you guys give me a break? Harass another Zahabi. All right, Michael Chandler making his way, ranked number 7 in the world. Let's look at Michael Chandler's last few fights. Let's see how he's been doing. Chandler. Look, he's fought the best of the best. And he's been in some of the most entertaining fights. He's 2-4 in UFC. Okay, so he lost to Charles Oliveira his last time out. He lost to Dustin Poirier, rear naked choke. He beat Tony Ferguson. Remember that famous front kick? We all dropped our jaws on that kick. He lost to Justin Gaethje prior to that, unanimous decision, and then had lost again to Charles Oliveira. He beat Dan Hooker with a beautiful left hook. That was an incredible fight. 2 minutes and 30 seconds in round 1. A huge left hook. Before that, he had beaten Benson Henderson in Bellator. So he's 2-4 in UFC, but he had some serious success in the Charles Oliveira fight. He had Oliveira hurt in the first matchup, not the second one. The second one was more one-sided. He did have some success near the end. It's been a tough road. It's definitely been a tough road for Chandler. Okay, guys. 1 or 2 people are going to be banned. Guys, don't forget, I rule the chat with an iron fist. You could be banned for life. I just banned the guy for life. The walk-out is taken from the UFC swinging arm, takes up more space. Space displays confidence. So doing this shows you have more confidence because you're taking up space. All right, that's one theory. Coach, I don't think you understand. That wasn't a real person. It was a bot. That's from Salah. Well, why would a bot do that? Like, what's the point? What's the point of that? What do the bots do? Like, I get it. Like, if you're creating bots for like political gain, okay, every time somebody tweets something about a certain topic, you tweet right away back. So it seems like people are disagreeing with you or agreeing with you. I get that. Like, I get it. You can make people, you can influence people, right? But crashing my stream and spamming my stream with just nonsense, like, where's the gain? That's my question. Like, what are they doing? Are they trying to slow down my stream, or like, what's the point? Coach, what's your stance on taking PEDs for health and still competing? That's from Momo. Momo, I don't think that's right. I think that's illegal. I think you should go to jail. If you get caught on PEDs, you should be stripped of everything you have in terms of wins and accolades, like they do in cycling. And they should throw you in jail. Why? It's assault. It's like bringing a weapon into the octagon. That's what I think it is. All right, guys, the fight's about to start. I'm going to give you the signal. They're about to kick this fight off. Chandler versus Pimblett, 5-rounder. I'm really excited about this fight. We are starting now. The fight has started, gentlemen. All right, here we go. Chandler versus Pimblett. Low kick by Pimblett. He scored beautifully against Bobby Green with that low kick. But Chandler's going to throw. He's going to throw tonight. He's going to throw bombs. That's for sure. That's coming. That's no doubt. Chandler will throw bombs. Another nice calf kick by Pimblett. Inside calf kick by Pimblett. Thing is with Pimblett, what scares me is he kind of hangs his chin in the air sometimes. And Chandler is very good at picking off guys who might lift their chin. Teep kick by Pimblett. You could see Chandler squatting down. Iron Mike Chandler here. Another low kick attempt by Pimblett. It touched Chandler. You could tell the Chandler's not liking it. Nice right hand by Pimblett. Chandler was loading up. Another low kick. His chin is in the air though, guys. This is risky. Punch off the cage for Pimblett. Jab from Pimblett. Uppercut. Powerful shot to the shoulder from Chandler. If he finds that chin, I'm telling you guys, this could be it. Double leg attempt by Chandler. I was telling you guys, if they get into scrambles, I could see Pimblett getting a sub. This is early. This is early now to start wrestling with Pimblett. That means his leg is hurting. That means he's not finding his target. I'm not liking this for Chandler. I know it's a good position for Chandler, but he's got to unload here. He's got to hurt Pimblett. Because if they exchange for too long, he's going to take away his pop. It's going to take away his explosiveness. And then he's going to get his leg crushed. This is, I think, for a 5-round fight, not a good. I know I know you guys are all thinking, Coach, Chandler's in the superior position. You're right. But he's got to unload hard shots because Chandler can only really win by KO. He can only really win by KO. Winning on the cards is going to be unlikely, especially the fact that he just ate like 5 leg kicks. And tying up with Pimblett for too long, he's going to eventually make a mistake. Nice elbows from Pimblett from the back. He's got a waist lock. Chandler's got a waist lock. Pimblett dropping those sharp elbows. Chandler riding a 2-on-1 wrist ride here. Kimura. See, that's what I told you guys. If they tangle long enough, Pimblett's going to find something. He's attempting a Kimura. Let's see what happens here. Chandler is defending nicely so far, but this can be a problem. Let's see what happens. This could be a problem for Chandler. Okay, he's out of the Kimura. It's just another attempt for Pimblett here is coming up. Okay, let's see. He's going to Wizard now. Pimblett back up to his feet. We're 2 minutes, 10 seconds. The bot was promoting a stream link. Oh, okay. That's what it's doing. Okay, it's back. Can you believe it? Oh, no. Okay, it's deleted. It's automatically deleted. Okay, that's what he's doing. He's trying to promote a stream link. He's trying to give us the fights for free. Guys, I can't have that stuff happening on my channel. Okay? This is not the El Chapo channel. Jump the triangle. Paddy, Pimblett, jump the triangle. I told you guys, if they tangle long enough, Pimblett's going to get offensive. And this is early in the fight. There's a minute 35 left. Paddy back up to his feet. All these exchanges are zapping Chandler's best asset, which is his explosiveness. Look for more leg kicks. More leg kicks are going to happen here. He needs to maintain his explosive power and land on Paddy's chin. Low kick again by Paddy. Hurts Chandler's leg. Guys, I got Paddy ahead right now because why? He's done the most damage. Chandler was... Oh, nice right hand by Chandler. That's what Chandler needs to do. That's exactly what Chandler needs to do. Nice jab by Pimblett. Push kick by Chandler. Head kick by Pimblett. Just grazed Chandler. Right hand by Pimblett. Pimblett's looking the fresher of the two. He's looking the faster now of the two, but still kind of exposing himself a little bit at the chin. Switch, and then jab by Pimblett. Pimblett's got good speed, man. He's got good speed. He's a great athlete. Overhand right here, attempt by Pimblett. Kind of grazed Chandler a little. Chandler kind of recovering here, circling, catching some air. You could tell his leg just wobbled out from underneath him. It seems like Pimblett is putting on some work, but Chandler with a big hook misses. Chandler seems tired. I told you guys. I'm telling you, you shouldn't have tangled with him. Nice kick by Pimblett. Pimblett kind of rushing a little bit recklessly here. 5 seconds left. Low kick by Pimblett. This time hits the thigh. All right, guys. I got to give that one to Pimblett. Guys, let me know who you thought won in round 1. I'm giving it to Pimblett. I'll tell you why. He did the more damage. I know we're going to be like, oh, control time. The control time wasn't enough. He didn't do any damage. He didn't do much damage in the control time. And he looked like he's worse for wear. Like he looked like he took damage to the leg. He wobbled as he was circling without even getting kicked. Chandler was circling hard, disengaging. That means he's hurt. And then he wobbled, which tells me, look, he's quite hurt. So this is a definite round in my book for Pimblett. Coach, Khabib versus Merab. Who has the better cardio? Guys, I've never seen cardio like Merab. I just can't even explain it. So, I think Khabib's got stellar cardio. I used to say he's the greatest cardio I've ever seen, but now I gotta say it's Merab. Merab's cardio just doesn't make sense to me. Guys, who do we got? Paddy, Chandler 1-0. Yandrell says Chandler 1-0. Now Chandler did land a nice right hand, but Paddy took it so well. It's crazy how he has a good chin, Paddy. Chandler is gas, coach. That's from MTG. MTG. I agree with you. He definitely slowed down. Round 2 is starting right now. We're starting round 2, guys. If you're trying to synchronize your stream with mine, we are 452, 451, 450. Let's see if Chandler can land a big shot here. The thing is, Chandler not only needs to land a big shot, he needs to end the fight. He can't go to the scorecards. He's unlikely to land the volume. This time, Chandler is able to avoid the low kick by lifting his leg, getting his leg out of the way. Nice job by Pimblett. Man, Pimblett sometimes runs in a straight line. He's a very gutsy guy. Very gutsy guy. He's charging Chandler, man. Chandler is a dynamite stick. You got to be careful with a guy like that. Nice low kick by Chandler. Low kick, calf kick, I should say, by Pimblett. Pimblett, you could tell, has created a lot of damage on Chandler, but Chandler has yet to damage Pimblett. Marab goes into a state of flow to get super cardio. That's from Portal. Portal, why don't you fly over to my gym, get into a state of flow, and let's do some rounds, me and you. Let's see how long your cardio lasts. It's not that easy, you know. It's kind of like, oh yeah, just get into a state of flow and I can ride my bike endlessly. Do me a favor, Portal. Get on a treadmill, crank it up, run for an hour, film it, send it to me. Low blow by Chandler. Pimblett takes a low blow. He's down. Bad shot to the groin by Chandler here. We're going to take a break. That wasn't pretty. And look, get on the treadmill. Get into your state of flow. Just show me. Demonstrate it, man. Demonstrate it. Don't tell me about it. I want to see a demonstration. And Portal, if you demonstrate it, I'll become your student. I'll sing your praises. I'll come here on the channel of how I learned about cardio flow state by the great Portal. Guru Portal. I'll call you Guru Portal. Coach is crashing out. That's from Salah. Why? No, my streaming condition says excellent. Chandler playing dirty already. That's from KTLM. I don't think it was intentional. That was accidental. All right, we got 3 minutes left in round 2. Guys, don't forget, I picked Pimblett for this fight. Uppercut by Pimblett. But Chandler's still in the game now. Don't forget, Chandler can finish a fight in a blink of an eye. Chandler in on a takedown, 4-point stance, 2-point stance now for Pimblett. Chandler trying to lift. I think this is a huge mistake, man. Chandler's just wearing himself out here. This is too early in the fight to be doing this. Okay, guys, I got to kick out another spammer, robot, guy, whatever you call it. Put user in timeout. Hide user on channel. All right, he's been banished. Coach, how much does low blow affect you in a fight? That's from the man from Nepal. It could affect you quite a bit, man. It can gas you out. It can really make you paranoid about the next following kick. Chandler on the back. I see. They scrambled long enough. Pimblett's now on top. Chandler slipped off the back. You know, it's funny. I was just like teaching back control to my students, and I was telling them, look, if you guys slip off the back, I'm going to delay your black belt. Like if you have black belt aspirations, show me that when you take the back, you know everything about not slipping off the top. Why? Because it's frustrating. Pimblett and Katakatami here, arm triangle. Because think about it. If you got to a guy's back, that's like you took him down, you passed his guard, you got side control, you exposed his back, you took his back. You're at the finish line to fall from there and have to start all over. It's just too much of an error. Pimblett on top. I told you guys, if they scramble long enough, this is what's going to happen. Pimblett is just too good on the ground. There's a great differential. We're in round 2, and Pimblett now has banked in 2 rounds. There's a minute 20, minute 19, minute 18, minute 17. If you're trying to synchronize with my feed. Half guard on top for Patty. You guys all told me half guard is a good guard. Okay, let's see. Half guard on bottom for Chandler. Let's see. So far, we haven't seen anybody be successful in half guard. Chandler tries to bridge out of half guard, gets his back taken. Look, I know Chandler's not the best half guard guy. It's not his position. Now Patty on top in mount, raining elbows. This is a very, very bad position for Chandler. Chandler getting really cooked here. You know, he's getting cooked. He rolls over. His back is taken. He's got a choke. He's going for a choke attempt. No, Paddy turns it to a squeeze lock here. Side choke. You guys know I love the side choke. Paddy Pimblett trying. Oh, he releases the side choke. Paddy now on the back. Let's see what he does. He's raining some ground and pound. We got 28 seconds left on the clock. Paddy Pimblett easily winning this round. Watching Chandler is frustrating. That's from Ryuk. Well, I don't think he had much of a game plan. I think he just kind of went out there and just put his heart on his sleeve and just fought, you know. He gave the back. That's from Mort, the Mad Mamluk. Well, he was getting hit, Mort. So he's getting hit. He's like, man, I gotta turn around, or else I'm gonna get KO'd. I'm gonna get TKO'd. So look, he survived the round. It was a tactic to help him survive the round. He didn't turn the back because he wants to, you know, get choked out. He turned the back because he's getting hit. The volume was too much. He can get really hurt. And look, when you give up the back, you risk being choked. But it's harder to hit somebody when you're on their back than when you're mounted. Chandler is brawling. That's from Mort. Mort, I have to agree with you. He's doing a little bit of brawling, yeah. Elbows doing damage. That's from Nua. Nua, you're 100% right. Those elbows, those ground and pounds, they were doing damage. Like, Chandler's not in good shape right now. Like, it's not pretty. 53 strikes to 9 for Paddy Pimblett. That's significant strikes landed. He's greatly outstriking Chandler both on the ground and on the feet. He's way ahead. He looks super fresh. Chandler's looking hurt, worn out. And it's only round 2. I mean, we only have 2 rounds in the books. We're going into round 3. Get ready, guys. We're going to synchronize the stream here. I'm going to let you guys know when they start. We're just about to start. There's a little delay. The referee wants a towel. All right, the referee is mopping up here with a towel. And we're about to start. Ready? And round 3 started. Let's go. Round 3 has started. Earlier, what you say stability ball lag was insane. What? Either earlier what you say stability. What I said about the stability ball, guys. You should be able to. Oh, nice knee by Pimblett. Chandler backpedaling, head kick by Pimblett. Chandler trying to survive right now early in round 3. Big shot, big Superman punch by Chandler. Chandler now walking forward, looking reckless. Coming forward, combination by Paddy. Nice combination by Paddy. 3-piece combination. Paddy in on a single leg. Does a golf swing takedown attempt. Now connects it to a body lock. Picks Chandler up. Has Chandler down on the ground. It looks like he's taking the back here. He's got one hook in. This is bad news. We're 4 minutes, 10 seconds left in the 3rd round. And Chandler now in a bad situation. Looks like a choke might be coming up. We might have a choke here on the table for Paddy Pimblett. Yes, guys, I do stand on the stability ball. And I don't just stand. I stand on it, squat up and down for about 10 minutes. Taking breaks, of course. But you should be able to stand on the stability ball for 10 minutes. It's a 10-minute squat test, standing test. And if you can do that, guys, your legs are as stable as you need. Like, you're highly unlikely to get injured doing anything MMA related. Yeah, stand on the stability ball for 10 minutes, guys. It's one of the progressions. It's in strong and stable knees. And I also show you guys how to, for the advanced fighters, you stand on the stability ball and you throw a med ball. You have your trainer throw you a med ball. Absolutely. I have fighters do it, on a periodically. It's very, very important. Keeps your knees healthy. Keeps your whole lower body healthy. Hips, knees, ankles, the whole thing. It cured my plantar fasciitis. I had plantar fasciitis. Nobody could cure my plantar fasciitis. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go back to my routine. I started standing on the ball. Maybe 3-4 weeks later, my plantar fasciitis was gone. After 2 years of people trying to solve my problem with plantar fasciitis, nobody can do it. Not the physio, not the doctor. Nobody knew what. I just got back on the stability ball, fixed it. It's crazy. Just insane. Paddy's best performance. I would have to agree. Guys, Paddy's best performance. Paddy's looking great, man. He's looking like a guy who's going to be fighting for a title. He will one day be fighting for a title. I don't doubt it. Another choke attempt by Paddy, guys. This is just, in my opinion. Already a 10-8 round. We got 2 minutes, 15 seconds left. This is a Paddy round, of course, but I would even give it 10-8. So I'm giving all 3 rounds with a 10-8 for Paddy Pimblett. Illegal elbow. Unintentional maybe, but I would have. Oh, big. He's allowed the 12-6 elbows. He's allowed. I forgot about that. Okay, so, but one of them, it's over. They stopped it. Guys, that was coming. Paddy Pimblett, flawless victory. He fought beautifully from bell to bell. What a performance from Paddy Pimblett. What can I say, guys? Incredible performance. Plantar fasciitis is an absolute nightmare. Tell me about it. That's from Contrail. Contrail, I would tell you, get one of those half stability balls and stand on it with one foot and kind of hang out on it if you're not able to get on the stability ball, or get a normal stability ball and do my progressions. Plantar fasciitis was agonizing. If you guys don't know it, it's like an injury on the bottom of your foot. It was agonizing. More people trying to put in robots, trying to send stream. I'm going to remove him again. Ban him. I don't know why they keep sending me these robots. Robbie Lawler going crazy in the back. I don't know why he would. That was a very good stoppage. Chandler was in a lot of danger. Definitely he was in a lot of danger. Big knee from early on in the round. Big knee from Pimblett. Pimblett lands a big knee. Paddy Pimblett lands a huge knee, maybe in the first 10 seconds of the round. He's on a body lock, takes down Chandler. You could tell Chandler was weakening. Paddy started strong, had a very even stronger round 2, and in round 3 he was just doing anything he wants, like really striking, takedown, grappling. It was just a one-sided beatdown in round 3. He might have broke Chandler's orbital bone. That's from Mort. It's very possible. It's a very dangerous thing. But Paddy's just, he's the next generation. Chandler's been around for a long time. He's had a lot of miles on him. He's a great fighter. He's a former Bellator champion. He's extremely entertaining fighter. Like, you can't say he doesn't go out there and fight. He does. He goes out there and he fights. He puts it on. He fights to the bitter end. He does what he's got to do. But, he's fighting a younger, faster, more explosive, more well-trained fighter who's in his prime. A fighter who's in his prime, I should say. Hasn't Chandler only won like one fight in UFC? Yeah, right now he's officially, I think, only ever won one fight. Even though, he did well in his first fight with Oliveira. He had some moments. He beat Dan Hooker. That's it. Dan Hooker, and now he's lost to Paddy. So he's won he's won 2 fights in UFC. Hold on a second here. He beat Tony Ferguson as well. That's right. He beat Dan Hooker and Tony Ferguson. So he has 2 wins in UFC. All right, guys. Now it's Lopez versus Volk. A lot of you guys picked against me. I picked Lopez. You guys picked Volk. I should say you started off at 74% for Volk, and then after I gave my spiel, I think we sunk down to 64 or something like that. I'm very excited for this fight. I love fights when we're like not sure who's gonna win. You look at the blue corner, you're like, that guy's a killer. You look at the red corner, you see that guy. Wow, that guy's amazing. And you're like, which one of these 2 guys is gonna win? And you're like, you can't make up your mind. Those are the exciting fights, and this is one of them. Volk versus Lopez. Those peds make the bones brittle. That's a Mort. Well, I'm not saying the man was on peds. I'm just saying there was a controversy. People were alleging he was on peds. Coach, can you do a poll for Lopez versus Volk? All right, let's do it. Let's do it. Oh, I got to end the other one first. Hold on a second. Okay. Start poll. All right, guys, who wins, Volk or Lopez? Black belt in button pushing. You know it, Portal. You know it. One day, I will teach you the essence of button pushing. One day, I'll give an advanced course. You push the button down, you release, and you let the button come back up. You push it down, you release, and let it come back up. People don't know that about button pushing. They don't know the intricacies. A lot of people think you have to push the button down and pull it back out. No. Trust me, I've tried it. Unnecessary. Let's go, Volk. Coach, what do you think is the next for Patty? That's from Muaz. Next for Patty. I think he might have a meeting with Taporia at 55 eventually. Why? These two hate each other. They have a long-standing beef. And after Patty's performance, if Oliveira drops out, he's injured or whatever, they might throw in Patty in there. You never know, because these guys have a pre-existing beef. These guys really don't like each other, and I could see that as a big buildup. Okay, now, I don't think he's ready for Makhachev yet. I don't think they'll give him Makhachev. And, of course, Taporia can get an ex-champion like Oliveira or Makhachev. But imagine they book Oliveira versus Ilya, and then Oliveira drops out. I could see them calling Patty Pimblett. Hey, Patty, remember that beef you had once upon a time? Would you like to settle it? Would you like to settle your beef with Taporia? That could be huge. I don't think Patty's ready for Ilya. No, I don't think so either. I think Ilya would be too much for him. I'm not saying he would win. I'm just saying it could be a mega fight for him. It could be big money for him. You know, he's a main event. They give him a special contract for taking that fight. You know, it's like it would be huge. And the thing is, everybody would tune in. Because look, at the end of the day, guys, the promoters are trying to put fights together. They're going to build up to mega fights. So if they see, hey, we can see these two guys fighting now or later, which one's going to make money? They're going to be like, well, now would be really good because it's hot, right? There's a controversy. Or let's not have them fight now. We're confident these two guys are going to win. Let's let them meet up later for a title elimination fight. Like, promoters think like that. You know, how could they have the biggest fight night, money-making fight night? Shaq in the crowd. That's from Salah. He's probably super easy to spot. I've met him in Vegas. The man is colossal. Shaquille O'Neal, man. He's no joke. He is colossal. All right, guys. The main event. What is it? 12:24 a.m. 12:24 a.m. It's late. They're fighting out in Florida, guys. Don't forget, this is 12:24 a.m. Imagine if Shaq trained in MMA. That's from Double U. That would be crazy. That would be a sight to see. All right, I'm getting a commercial. That's weird. Coach, remember when Michael Chandler KO'd Pitbull's brother? I think it was the first round in Bellator. Straight punch with speed. That was freaky about Michael's similar effect like Poatan. That's from Shiz. Yes, definitely. But, you know, Pitbull, the younger Pitbull brother, you know, he has a share of losses, right? So it was a good win for sure because he's also very explosive. Both Pitbull brothers are very explosive. And then, of course, he goes to fight the older Pitbull. And Chandler gets knocked out in round 1. But again, that was a champion versus champion. 145 champion Pitbull going up to fight Chandler at 155. Who's the champion? He wins double gold. Great night for Pitbull, definitely. But as you can see, you know, like there are levels, man. UFC is at the highest level. It's 4:30 p.m. in New Zealand. Wow, that's cool. All right, that's pretty cool. Coach, your brother is fighting Jose Aldo? Question mark. That's from W. Yes, May 10th, guys. Zahabi versus Aldo. Don't forget to tune in. Don't forget to put on your Zahabi shirts. Coach, does high-level fighting rely more on IQ than technique or strength? That's from Muhammad, it's all of it. Technique, strength, fight IQ. It's all how you play the game. It's all what kind of shape you're in. It all matters. Anybody who tells you it has nothing to do with technique or it doesn't have anything to do with fitness is crazy. Okay, it does definitely have to do with technique and fitness. It's a hybrid of it all. Do you think Paddy deserves to be in the top 5? Let me look at the top 5 because 155 is stacked. You got a murderer's row in top 50, 155. Hold on, let me see here. Let me look at top 15 here. Especially with Ilya Taporia, top 15. That's just a wild bunch. That's just a wild bunch of men. All right, let's see. UFC rankings, athlete rankings, 155. Let's see. Hold on a second. I want to see something else here. Man, they're so stacked. It's crazy how stacked it is. Okay, number 1, Islam Makhachev. He's the champ, of course. Oh, no, sorry. That's for pound. Okay. Armin Sakurian. Okay. Charles Oliveira. Justin Gaethje, Max Holloway, Dustin Poirier. Yeah, I would definitely put him in the top 5. I would squeeze him in there. I think he could beat. He could beat some of those guys. So Michael Chandler's ranked 7. Dan Hooker's number 6. Paddy's right now is ranked at 12 as of now, as of the site now. I think you're going to see him move up, guys. He's going to go at least top 10. Minimum. So you have Benil Dariush at number 9. Meccano number 10. Fiziev at 11. Then Paddy at 12. I think he's going to jump up probably. He's going to. Because you got Gamrot at 9. You got Gamrot at 8. I think he might replace Dariush at the very least, at number 9. He's going to move up to number 9 at the very least. I don't think they're going to move up to top 5. That's not what I'm saying. Okay, so don't get me wrong. I just think that he could beat guys in the top 5. And, it's just so hard to classify fighters it's just a very tricky thing. But I do think he could beat guys in the top 5. Now, will he be put in top 5? No. They're probably going to move him up to number 9 or whatnot because it was such a dominant win. Millions of us down here are kind of proud of Canadians sticking up for yourselves. Keep it up. That's from Dave L. Well, thank you, Dave L. Are you from down under, meaning New Zealand? Oh, another bot dropping streams. I got to kick him out. Okay. So, Dave L., thank you very much. Yeah, we stuck up for ourselves. You mean like the trucker thing? Is that what you mean? Yeah. I was like really losing hope in Canada when we were having all the shutdowns and whatnot. And then the trucker convoy and all that kind of turned things around. And it was great to see that at least the Canadians were ready to stand up for themselves. Now, I don't endorse blockades. I think those were illegal and wrong and you shouldn't do that. But protests should always be something you do, when you think something is wrong. Or you might be referring to our protest we had today in Ottawa. Actually, I didn't have a chance to check the news yet. So we had a protest for Palestine to stop the genocide that's going on in Palestine. So I'm all for that. And I support that totally. We need peace in the Middle East. We need coexistence. We need different leaders who can teach people how to live together. We need Resolution 194. The UN passed Resolution 194. Palestinians were robbed of their homes. They need to return to their lands. They need to return to their homes. They need reparations. Things need to be made right, and then we have to accept to live together. That's my vision for the Middle East. Making things right. And this is the Ali Mpape vision, and I think many Arabs and Muslims around the world understand this vision as well. We have to allow the Palestinians to go back home, have their reparations, have their land back, become full citizens with full rights, share in governing themselves, have their full human rights. That would be my first solution. Or they need reparations and a two-state solution. They need reparations and a two-state solution. They have to be able to govern themselves. They have to be able to vote for their own government. Right now, they're being controlled and governed by people they have no vote for. They can't vote for. So people say, oh, Hamas governs. No, they don't. Hamas does not govern. Okay, so it's a misconception. It's a misunderstanding. Actually, Bill Murray embarrassed himself by saying, oh, Hamas governs. They were given a state. They were not given a state. It's crazy. He was crying about expertise. By international standards, they don't govern themselves. They do not legally govern themselves. They don't control goods coming in, and they don't control goods coming out. They don't control their own border. They don't control their own water, their own electricity, etc. They don't govern that land. It is governed by Israel. Every international body agrees on this. So Murray is factually wrong. Fact check me. Okay? Fact check him. He's factually wrong. He's like, they could have built Singapore. No. The funds that they received were intercepted by Hamas. And it was unsustainable. They could have built whatever they want. They can't sustain it. They have no GDP. They have no right to exploit their goods and services. And Israel would bomb them on a regular basis anyway. So whatever they build, they get bombed. By the way, they build water purification structures. It's bombed. Like, you got to look these things up. Like, Israel also claims that the water that lands on Gaza belongs to Israel. So they intercept the water. So, I mean, it's just such a crazy story. People are so uninformed. They're basically imprisoned. Hamas is like the gang leaders of the prison. Like, they're the biggest gang in the prison. That's all they are. And guess what? They were put in there. They were funded by Israel. I know it sounds like a conspiracy theory, but it's not. Netanyahu brags about it. The man brags about putting Hamas in power. He puts them in power because he doesn't have a counterpart for peace. He can go to the table and say, look, they don't want peace. They want to fight me. And Bill Murray said something else factually incorrect. And I dare anybody to fact check me on this. He said Hamas says they want to kill all the Jews. That's ridiculous. Their charter doesn't say that. Read the charter. The Hamas 2017, their updated charter. It specifically says, we are not anti-Jewish. We are not anti-Semitic. Anti-Semitism is a Western European invention. We are not anti-Semitic. We are fighting you because you invaded us and you assembled a government on our land. We want to disassemble your government. They're not anti-Jewish in the least. That's what they say explicitly. Now there's a reference to eschatology, the end of the world, the apocalypse. In the apocalypse, there's going to be a war between Muslim and Jews and other players. Now the Jews have this also in their book. The Christians also have this in their book. We're in agreement that we're going to have this apocalyptic fight. But in the meantime, we can live in peace. This is well known and well understood in our books, okay? Their beef is not with your religion. They explicitly say the opposite of what Bill Murray says. Now, I challenge anybody to go look up the charter. It's online. And disprove me. Give me a citation of where it says we're out to kill you all. Douglas Murray is guilty of misinformation. Coach, is that Montel Paris perfume model name, this one? Intense Cafe? That's from I think it was in Cafe, yes. Douglas Murray, coach. Bill Murray is a comedian. Did I say Bill Murray? I meant Douglas Murray. I know the difference. My apologies. Craig Jones dance entrance. I don't know what that is, Shoaib. Sorry. Well, I'm going to call him Bill Murray. Douglas Murray to me is Bill Murray because all his arguments are a joke. I'm gonna rename him to Bill Murray. Douglas Bill Murray, the comedian. I miss you, coach. That's from Ryan. Ryan, no homo. I missed you too, but no homo, right? Coach, thoughts on nicotine for focus similar to caffeine? That's from Muhammad. I'll look up the dangers. I don't use nicotine, but I'll look up the dangers. Is there any side effects? Paid actor Douglas Bill Murray. That's from Corsair. Yeah, he's definitely on the payroll. Douglas Murray is definitely, without a doubt, on the payroll. Here's the thing. What's a death blow argument to the Israeli side? Is when they say nothing justifies October 7th. Okay. Nothing justifies breaking international law. I will tell you a lot of things that happened on October 7th. From reliable sources, Muslims don't like it when I say this, but they're reliable sources. that international law was broken and Muslim law was broken. So we cannot accept that. Now, both sides break international law. Israel, I'll tell you, breaks international law far more and far worse. The two are not comparable. But still, we have to be fair and just and impartial. When either side breaks international law, we have to be honest. We can't turn the blind eye to international law. That would be illegal and haram. It would be illegal and haram. So whichever way you look at it, if you're secularist or if you're Muslim or if you're Christian or if you're Jewish, it's bad. There's no way to make this, there's no way to overturn this, okay? When illegal things are done, we have to admit it. We have to be fair. Whoever perpetrated it. That's actually, for the Muslims out there who get angry with me, it's part of your religion. In your religion, you're not supposed to favor anybody. If somebody does something wrong, the Prophet ﷺ said, if Fatima, his daughter, she stole, he would punish her. And for stealing, for those of you who don't know, if you're repeated stealing and you're found guilty without a shadow of a doubt, it can lead up to a cut on hand. Now, don't forget, that's a time when there was no jails. It was considered lesser of two evils. You'd have to steal a certain amount, like an amount of a food that would feed a family, of course, because you're stealing food from a family, right? So ultimately, you can have your hand cut off. There is no free pass because you're well known or you're influential or you're famous or you're Muslim or this or that or you're blue-eyed or you're pretty or you're tall or you're funny. There is no pass. If you commit a crime, you pay the price. You may be the clearest mind speaking on this topic. That's from Metric. Metric, thank you very much. But as a philosopher, you cross-examine your own ideas. You're like, is this right or wrong? Is this fair or not? Is this just or unjust? And I think everybody can do that. But the thing is, we're not trained to do that. We got to learn to train each other to do that. We got to be fair. The world has to be fair. If you don't have fairness, you have violence, vengeance, evil. It's all about, when the state was founded, the Israeli state was founded, it was founded on the bodies of the indigenous, of the natives. And look what it's brought. It hasn't brought security. It hasn't brought freedom. It hasn't brought peace. It hasn't brought democracy either. It's not a democracy. It's a reverse democracy. It's the government choosing the people. It's not the people choosing the government. It's a reverse democracy. It's Western colonialist expansion. It's amazing how Douglas Murray got so much wrong. It's crazy. And people think he's an intellectual. He's just on the payroll. He's obviously biased because I think he's smarter than that. I don't think he could be so dumb. He's obviously not trained in logic, that's for sure, because he started with ad hominem. He went to genetic fallacy. Like, he's doing the most basic dumb, and he did it for 45 minutes nonstop, a whole hour of, but you're not an expert. You're not an expert. Neither are you. You got an English lit degree. He's got a bachelor's in English literature. Guys, I could do that standing on my head. That's not impressive. That's nothing to write home about. You're not a historian, nor are you a philosopher or logician. You are nothing. You could tell stories. You can analyze stories. You can propagate. Man, his mother should slap him. Seriously, his mother needs to find out where he is and slap him. It's time, gentlemen. It is time. More. Okay, no. People getting wise to propaganda technique like Murray. That's from Corsair. I hope so. Because believe me, every time they make mistakes, we're going to be there to correct them. It should be, it should be pointed out. Coach, if I'm ever in Montreal, would you allow me the pleasure of taking you out for a nice dinner, inshallah? That's from Ryan. Well, are you a member? Let me see here, friend. Yeah, you are a member. You're a white belt. Get the purple belt. We'll talk, Ryan. No, definitely. Listen, if you're in town and after practice I'm free to go eat, maybe we'll go eat. Sure. Possible. I do that sometimes. I can go to sleep standing on my head. That's from Portal. Quite a skill you got there, Portal. Kind of gay, bro. That's from Alibaba. No, bro. No homo. He knows. He knows the channel. He knows that'll get him, how should we say? Guys, Alexander Volkanovski is being announced. This fight is about to start. Ryan's like, haram. He knows. Ryan knows it's haram. Mamnua. Mamnua, gentlemen. Mamnua. I feel like Richard Dawkins does the same thing. I'm not an expert. You're not an expert, so we don't know. That's from Salah. Look, you could speculate if you're not an expert, but it's good to draw on experts. Use their research, their data points. And the thing is, when it comes to current events, you don't have to be an expert necessarily. You could say, look, from my point of view, that's why you got to word things properly. You got to, from my point of view, from what I see, from what I understand, you got to use these type of propositions. Okay, guys, the fight's about to start. Let's get ready. Let's get ready to rumble. Lopez versus Volkanovski. The fight is about to start. If you're syncing your stream with mine, when I drop my hand, the fight has started. Are you ready, gentlemen? The referee's about to give the signal. Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's go. The fight is on. Lopez versus Volk. Volkanovski starting with the feints as always. Is big into the feinting. He's got a deceptive feinting style. Faking the kick, faking the jab. Lopez more calm. Lopez is a good counterpuncher, guys. If Volk rushes in, I'm really excited to see if he can fake his way in or if Lopez can pick him off. Let's see how the first trades go. Lopez has exhibited some very good counterpunching skills, but then you have Volk who's got very good fakes. Can he draw out Lopez? Can he fake Lopez so much that he triggers Lopez's counters and then counters Lopez? Volk working hard on the feints, trying to trigger Lopez to throw his counters. Lopez almost biting on these fakes. Like he threw a little heat, pulled it back. Volk with a head kick attempt to a back fist, both missed. Lopez was able to read his strikes. Low kick from Lopez. Lopez doing that, touching the Adam's apple. He has a tick. He has a nervous tick. He was saying in his interview, he has a nervous tick. He touches the Adam's apple. Ooh, nice shots from Volk. Return fire by Lopez. Uppercut by Volk, and then Lopez lands a good right hand, egging him on. He's like, come get me. He's telling Volk, come get me. He liked it. He liked exchanging. It was a nice combination by Volk, but then Lopez caught him on the way out as Volk was trying to retreat from the combination. I'm loving Volk's feints. Volk is doing a good job feinting here. He's throwing lots of feints, and then he stepped in on a hard combination. Caught Lopez clean, but then Lopez answered back. Beautiful. There we go. Another exchange here. Body shots from Lopez. I don't think Volk threw a good knee, but I don't think he connected too much. Low kick by Volk. I don't like the way he throws that low kick because he's kind of like exposing himself a little on it. Volk throwing a low kick, but kind of exposed himself. Looked a little bit dangerous. Volk working some very nice feints here. Nice combination by Volk. Left hook to a right hand. Deep kick by Volk. Good combo by Volk. Volk able to fake his way in. He's doing a lot of nice work with the feinting. When the real combos came in, Lopez was not able to pick him off. We're 2 minutes, 10 seconds in. 2 minutes, 10 seconds left, I should say. Lopez attempting a 1-2. Volk saw it. Got out of the way. Volk back to the feinting. Nice combination by Volk. Stuns. Hurts Lopez. Lopez back to that little nervous tick he's got. Touching his Adam's apple. Nice low kick by Volk. Guys, I got Volk in this round so far. Definitely a Volk round. We got a minute 40, a minute 39, a minute 38, a minute 37, minute 36, 1 minute 35. If you're trying to sync your stream with mine. Nice job by Volk. Lopez not able to discern between Volk's real strikes and his fakes. He's going back to that nervous tick. He's touching his Adam's apple. Nice job by Lopez. Takedown attempt by Volk. Runs into a body lock here, putting Lopez up against the fence. Kosoto Gake trip. Gets Lopez down. 4-point position. Knee from Volk. Lopez is going to get up here, get to an underhook. Beautiful round one. Double underhook now for Lopez. Lopez might be able to score a takedown. 40 seconds left. Knee from Volk. Volk strips the body lock, shoots for a double, goes up to a body lock up on Lopez now. He's body locking Lopez up against the fence, trying for another trip. Can he score it again? He's able to get to the waist, the back of the waist. Volk about to throw a strike here. Throwing left hooks. Nice left hooks by Volk. Pushing Lopez up into the fence. Definitely a round for Volk. Volk gets the trip, gets Lopez down on the ground. Volk looking incredible. 10 seconds left in the fight. Nice ground and pound by Volk. A beautiful round for Volkanovski. All right, guys. We got round one in the bank. Round one in the bank. I told you, Coach. That's from Mort Mamluk. Well, look. It's still early, but it does definitely seem like Volk is dancing circles around Lopez right now. Lopez looking damaged. Let's see if he can rally. Volk looked amazing in round one. It's the fakes, guys. He faked him. He faked him so much that when he actually jumped in on those shots, Lopez didn't have time to react. He wasn't able to react. Not only did he outstrike him, he took him down twice in one round. And you know Volk doesn't slow down. His conditioning is stellar. Let's see what happens next here. Beautiful round by Volk. Really an incredible round. He hurt Lopez. He hurt him with a big left hook. Volk looks hungry. That's from Tanvir. Absolutely. He looks like he's a new man. Guys, it's still early. Don't count this young kid out. I know he didn't look good in round one, but he can make some adjustments. It's still very early. Don't count him out just yet. Still early. Volk going back to his feints. We're at 4 minutes, 27 seconds. Volk circling around, shuffling his feet here, faking, looking for his next opening. Volk did a lot of damage in a little amount of time. That's what's incredible about Volkanovski. He can do a lot of damage in a little bit of time, but so can Lopez. A blitz by Volk partially gets through, 2-shot combination. Volk back to his fakes. Douglas Murray, 0-1 against you. That's from Chobay. I hope so. I mean, the guy's an ignoramus. What can I say? I love how self-righteous he is. He's like, oh, you're not an expert. What's your degree in? English literature. Oh, my goodness. All right, guys, we're at 3:07. Nice combination by Volk. This time Lopez answers back. Good combination there by Lopez. Lopez lands a nice left hook. Double leg attempt by Volk. Both men punching off the break. Nobody really landing. Nice right hand by Volk. Volk still on the feints, man. Volk working those feints. Trying to trigger Lopez into throwing his strikes. Nice jab by Volk. Beautiful speed. Lopez just threw a hook and he looked kind of drained. You know, it kind of looked like a drained hook. Missed by a mile. Nice jab now from Lopez, finally. Seems like he just can't find Volk so far. Volk with some nice jabbing here. Oh, big left hook by Volk. Hurts Lopez bad. Double leg now. Hurts Lopez again. 1 minute, 35 left in the round. Volk on a body lock. What's with these guys spamming streams, man? Really annoying. All right, Lopez out of the clinch. Lopez is going to start putting combinations together here. He's behind on another round. Nice low kick by Volk. 1-2 combination followed up by Lopez. Lopez is getting hurt with that hook. He's not seeing Volkanovski's left hook. Right kick, right punch combination by Volk. Nice jabbing by Volk. Some more jabbing by Volkanovski. Yeah, this does look like one of Lopez's worst performances, definitely. But it's due to Volk. You know, Volk is just showing he's another level. So far, right now, Volk is really having his way. We got 20 seconds left in round 2. Nice jab by Volk. Volk is just piecing him up with a jab. Lopez drops Volkanovski. Lopez drops Volkanovski with a big right hand. Oh, this is close. This is a close round now. All of a sudden, Lopez comes to life, lands a big shot. That's why I told you guys, it's a bit early. Volk looks pretty good right now. I'm still giving the round to Volk. They both had a knockdown against one another, but Volk landed the better shots overall. A much better performance for Lopez, but still 2 rounds to none in my book for Alexander Volkanovski. But Lopez at least showing some life. He knocked Volk down and he went back touching his Adam's apple. Crazy. Oh, is that Craig Jones in the background? Is that why you guys screaming Craig? Is that him? No, it's not him. He's in the background. Is he in the corner? I know he works with Volkanovski. All right, let's see here. Right, they're doing the replay now. Right hand, left hook from Volkanovski drops Lopez. He's just not seeing that left hook. He didn't really drop him to the ground, but he dropped him into the fence. Okay, because I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh, you never touched the ground. Or Volk did. Volk definitely hit the ground. But he bounced back into the cage. Yeah, but Lopez did absolutely drop Volkanovski. I still think Volk landed the better shots overall. All right, round 3 starting right now. Let's go. Round 3. 456, 455, 454, 440, 453, 452, 451, 450. Synchronize your stream with mine. And let's go. We are in round 3. I got 2 rounds to none for Volkanovski. Lopez still touching his Adam's apple. Volkanovski back to the feints. Overhand right attempt. Partially connects for Volkanovski. Guys, you got to watch Volkanovski for his feints. He's got great feints. He's constantly faking. He's constantly confusing the younger fighter. So much so, like, Lopez can't stop touching his Adam's apple. He's got a nervous tick where he's always touching his Adam's apple. Volk's got him nervous. We are nearing 1 o'clock in the morning. These men are fighting out there at 1 o'clock in the morning, friends. Nice right hand by Volk. Snuck it in there. Can't share my screen, Mr. Floyd. That would be illegal. Cannot share the screen, friend. You're going to have to just listen to my play-by-play. We're 3 minutes into the third round. 3 minutes left, I should say, in the third round. Volkanovski still with the fakes, trying to confuse Lopez here. Lopez now still touching his Adam's apple every so often. He's super nervous, it seems. Combination left hook. That left hook of Alexander Volkanovski has been finding the target. Just connected again. Another jab by Volkanovski. It just seems like Lopez has no visual on Volkanovski's left hook. Now they're trading. Both men kind of miss here. Both grazed each other a little bit. Nobody really connected. Both men going into a flurry at the same time. Right hand connection for Volk. Nice jab by Lopez. We're 2 minutes, 7 seconds left into the third round. It's still a very close round. Still up for grabs. This round is still up for grabs. Nobody scored anything super significant. No distinction yet. Still up for grabs. Let's see what happens here. We're 1 minute, 53 seconds left in round number 3. If Lopez can bank in this round, it would be huge for him. Because if Volk gets another round, that would be 3-0 for Volk. It would be statistically highly unlikely Lopez can win. So we got a minute 32 left, and Lopez needs to really do something stellar here. Ooh, flurry. Both men missed, but that was dangerous. Both men were trading in the pocket. Trip attempt by Volk misses. Double leg attempt by Volk. Rejected by Lopez. Lopez back to the jab. Lopez needs to get something done here. He needs to bank in this round. This round is very close. He needs to put this in the bank, because if the judges give Volkanovski another round, it's going to be statistically highly unlikely that Lopez can win. "51 seconds left in the third round. Lopez needs a flurry. He needs something connecting. This is a very close round. Volk backing up. That might give the round to Lopez because the round is so tight. 20 seconds left. Right hand by Volk. Jab by Volk. Double leg attempt by Volk. Nice head kick by Lopez. Right hand leg kick combination by Lopez. Lopez pursuing forward. This is very hard to call, guys. Oh, man. This is going to be so controversial, this round. Do we give 3 rounds to Volk, or do we make it 2-1? Oh, this is too close, man. Guys, who do you have it for round 3? I want to know. Before I tell you guys who I have it for, I want to know what you crazy kids have to say. Ah, this is a close one, man. Lopez just having an off night, to be honest. 3-0 Volk. That left hook. Yes, that's Rob R. I agree with you. The biggest shot was the left hook. I would give it 3-0 to Volk. This is a close fight. I mean, that was a close round, but still, I have to edge it out to Volk because he landed the biggest shot of the round. But then you had Lopez moving forward. He was trying to engage more. He was the aggressor. He does look off, though, but I think it's more to do with Volk's feints. So I'm giving 3-0 for Volk. That means Lopez needs a finish. Coach, will it be my first ever spar? I'm coming to Montreal in May. That's from Student O Life. No, May is a very busy month for me. So, and you don't want me to be your first spar, my friend. Trust me, you don't want me to be your first spar. Might be your last spar. All right, here we go. Round number 4. Lopez, he's got to show. If he wants to be champion right now, we're going to see. Round 4 is going to tell us if he's serious about wanting to be champion. He's got to go. He's got to go. He's got to go. If I was his corner right now, I'd tell him, look, you got to take every risk. Nice low kick by Volk. Nice jab. Volk in total control so far. It just seems like Lopez can't get past the fakes. Another nice jab by Volkanovski. Overhand right attempt by Volk misses. Just Volk's jab is on fire tonight. You know, he's just on fire with his jab and his feints. Volk with a nice right hand. Uppercut by Lopez. Right hand by Lopez. Lopez back to touching his Adam's apple. Low kick by Lopez. Nice low kick. Look, we're 3 minutes, 29 seconds left in the fourth round. Lopez needs to get busy now. He needs to get busy. He's not wearing on Volk in the least. He needs to take risks. This is not going to win him a title fight. Volk with a double leg attempt, underhook, and rejected by Lopez. Lopez with a teep. Look, I'm not thinking Lopez is trying to win right now. I think he's just trying to do his best, but he's not trying to win. Because if he's trying to win, I don't know if he understands the situation. I don't know if his cornerman's like on him right now, but he's got to go. There's 2 minutes and 37 seconds left. He needs to take more risks. He's got a championship opportunity right now. There's a title on the line right here. Nice counter punching by Volkanovski. Right hand by Volkanovski. Uppercut by Lopez. Flurry. Nice right hand. Nice right hand. Volk shoots. After getting hit with a right hand, Lopez working, pressuring. Volk saying he got poked in the eye. Referee waves it off. They keep working. Right hand by Volk. Right hand by Lopez. Response. Lopez on the hunt. They're throwing now. He's forcing Volk to fight right now. This is what he needs to do. 1 minute 54 seconds left in the round. Lopez needs to force Volk into a bit of a brawl. He needs to make him go because he's not going to win on points. Volk backing up. Volk looking damaged. Lopez landing a left hook. This is getting exciting. If you want to be champion, this is it. 1 minute 39. Let's go. He's got to go. He's got to go. He's got to keep working. He's got to take the risk. Why? He's down 3 rounds. This is exciting now. This is finally starting to look like he wants to try to win this. 1 minute 28 seconds. He needs to go. Volk seems hurt. I'm giving this round to Lopez so far. Lopez on the hunt. Moving forward. Landed the better strikes. Volk bleeding from his right eye. Volk also got some licks in, but I give the net difference. I'm giving it to Lopez. Lopez is slowed down a little bit here. He needs to get back on the pressure. And he needs to throw. There's 1 minute left in round 4. Overhand right attempt blocked. Blocked by Lopez. Nice jab by Volkanovski. Lopez inching his way forward, but he needs to do more than this. He needs to do more. There's 39 seconds left. Lopez needs to go. He needs to stop thinking. He's overthinking it. He needs to step, move his head, and throw. Whether he lands or not, he needs to throw. He needs to move forward and throw. There it is, a flurry. Right hand lands by Volk. Jab by Volk. Jab by Volk again. Jab, right hand by Volk. Volk doing a good job to even things out here. 26-14 on the stats. Don't look too much at the stats because it's not always very accurate. But Volk seeming to regain control. Right, left hook by, oh, beautiful right hand. Left hook by Lopez. Volkanovski responds to the right hand. That's the end of the bell. That was a very, very close round. Who did you guys have it for? That was a very close round. Again, I'm going to give 1 to Lopez, guys. I'm going to give 3-1 to Lopez. So Volkanovski's winning 3-1. I'm giving 1 round to Lopez. I think he did slightly more damage. But that was a very competitive round. You could say that Volkanovski also won that round. There was a big uppercut at the end and then a return right hand by Volk. Super close. I could see you guys. I could see a lot of people wanting to give it to Volk as well. Okay, guys. So I'm telling you, that round go either way. The man from Nepal. Everybody dedicating their fights to the emperor. I don't know what that means, Andre Foreman. Which emperor? Oliver 6886 gives it to Volk. Look, I won't argue with that. It's so close. I won't argue it. This is the last round. Anyway, like it or not, Lopez needs to finish. Like it or not, he's got 5 minutes. Let's see. Does he want to be champion? Well, he's got to do everything now. He's got to let it all go for 5 minutes. If he takes any steps back, if he shies away in the least, he's not going for gold. He's got to do everything. He's got to trade with Volk. Volk throws a powerful right, just misses. Lopez back on the Adam's apple tick, touching his Adam's apple. Look, Volk is in no rush. He's jabbing, he's circling, he's faking. He's doing what an intelligent fighter does. Really, right now, it's all on Lopez to take the risk. There is no reason for Volkanovski to take any crazy risks. Lopez right now, we're at 4 minutes, 8 seconds left, and he's not pressuring enough. Good right kick to right punch combo from Volkanovski. Wheel kick misses by Lopez. More throat touching, throat touching. Volkanovski's fighting beautifully. Lopez, he's got to change strategy. If he thinks this is going to win him the fight, it's going to be very difficult to win. He needs a KO. He needs a finish. And he's not going to finish at this pace. Unlikely. Big right hand from Volk. Big jab from Volk. Another jab from Volk. Jabbing from Volk again. Right hand from Volk. Lopez responds with his own combination. Elbow attempt misses from Volkanovski. 3 minutes, 19 seconds. Low kick from Lopez. Those low kicks ain't going to win you the fight. It's too late in the fight. He needs to throw 3 or 4 punch combinations. Just Lopez not able to get past the Volkanovski feints. Eats a big right hand from Volkanovski. More jabbing from Volk. Nice right hand from Lopez lands, but Lopez has really got to get more aggressive. Another nice left hook from Volkanovski. He landed some very nice hooks in this fight. Double leg attempt from Volkanovski. Rejected by Lopez. Lopez says he got poked in the eye. Referee saying fight on. He yelled at the ref. He seems frustrated. Lopez seems extremely frustrated. He's not throwing combinations. That's the problem with Lopez. He's not throwing combinations. He needs to step in and throw combinations at the risk of getting hit. There's 2 minutes and 16 seconds left. Coach, who won? Well, I'll tell you, Salah. Right now, Volkanovski's winning all 5 rounds. At the very best for Lopez, Lopez has 1 round in the bank. At the very best. And that's me being as charitable as I can be. Lopez getting hit again. 2-piece combination followed up by knee by Volkanovski. Lopez just not active enough, guys. He's just not active enough. what can I say, guys? This is a brilliant performance by Volk. His footwork, his jab, his feints were too much for Lopez. We're still 90 seconds left in the fight, but I just don't see Lopez going for it. He's not stepping in with a combination. He just won't do it. If he doesn't do it, he's just got like less than a 1% chance of winning. He's not going to win with his tactics. He's jabbing, he's pawing. It's not going to win. This ain't going to win you the gold. Excuse me. Some nice combinations landed by Volkanovski. Followed up some more jabbing for Volk. A couple of body shots from Lopez. More jabbing by Volk. Volk's jab has been on fire tonight. I'll tell you something. Lopez just can't see the jab. He just can't see it. He's getting frustrated now, egging Volk on. 40 seconds left, and Lopez now egging him on, trying to throw some heat. Can't find his target just yet. Nice left hook by Volkanovski. Volkanovski circling, jabbing, circling. Lopez yelling and screaming, taunting Volk. Volk with a trip attempt. Lopez is taunting, screaming, but he's not throwing. Throw. He's got to throw, man. 17 seconds left. Lopez obviously frustrated. Volkanovski circling, jabbing, countering, landing. Lopez pointing to the middle of the octagon. Let's fight. Another big right hand attempt by Volkanovski. Another combination by Volkanovski. Ending with a right hand. Lopez raising his hand. I don't know why Lopez is raising his hand. That was a clear loss. All 5 rounds for Volkanovski. No strategy for Lopez, like clueless. That's from Matt N. In this fight, guys, he didn't, in my opinion, didn't have the right strategy. But also, Volk had him biting on fakes all night long. And when you're biting on fakes all night long, it's a difficult thing to do to win. Volk fought beautifully. His jab was stellar. His left hook was incredible. He landed multiple combinations. He landed an overhand right at the end of the bell at round 5. So, I mean, you got to give him every round. At best, maybe we can give Lopez round 4. But this was a clear victory for Volkanovski. He just landed like 5 very powerful left hooks, 2 takedowns in round 1. I mean, it was just a stellar performance by Volkanovski. Lopez connected very few strikes. He wasn't able to find Volkanovski. Good to see him get his win. That's right, man. The paradigm, you're 100% right. Congratulations to Volkanovski. A beautiful performance. Stunning performance. I would like to see Yair versus Lopez. Lopez had a stellar performance. Yair had a stellar performance. Lopez had a lackluster performance. It would be good to see them meet up. You know, they had a very heated exchange at the press conference. This could be a very good fight for Yair Rodriguez. We told you, Coach. Yeah, Volk still got it. You guys were right, man. You got me on this one, gentlemen, friends. You got me on this one. I took a lot of heat for picking Ankalev. And, man, you guys were furious with me. But guess what? Ankalev won. Now, I picked wrong. I got to admit, I picked wrong. I thought Lopez was going to be way more aggressive. I thought he would take more risk. I thought his power and explosiveness could do it. But this is a huge win. He lost 2 fights in a row by KO. Took a year off, came back, and won all 5 rounds. I can't believe Lopez is raising his hand. Like, it just shows that he doesn't understand what was going on in there. He's a brilliant fighter. He just needs more experience. It's coming. He's probably overrun with emotions. You know, he really wants this win. But I'll tell you right now, he was far from getting it. This should be a unanimous win easily for Volk. I don't have the sound on right now, but I'm sure it's a unanimous victory for Volkanovski. Hey, Coach, since I was right, my prediction, you got to come on the Mad Mamluks now. That's some more definitely, man. I'm happy to come on the Mad Mamluks. Reach out to me. Jazakallah khair. Let's do it maybe in April, okay? Because May is going to be really busy for me. So let's do April. All right, hit me up in April. Let's meet. Is an instructional for fainting worthwhile? That's from Student of Life. Definitely. Of course. Volkanovski won tonight's fight primarily with his feints, jab, and then after that he had all those beautiful follow-ups. His left hook, his takedowns, his overhand rights, he had a really good knee also. He had landed some very nice powerful knees. But really what opened the door for all those strikes was his jabbing and feinting. Volk is beautiful. You're right, man, 100%. CX, he's a beautiful man, he's a beautiful fighter, beautiful competitor, beautiful person. I'm really happy to see him have such a stellar victory. This is huge for his career. He's champion again. MashaAllah. When is Alex Morgan going to the UFC? That's from Adirondack. I hope he gets another victory and climbs up to the UFC rank. It climbs up in UFC. I hope so. He's had a few wins in a row now, so hopefully one more win. Thank you, Mort. Yes, inshallah. Let's talk in April. Patty versus Charles Oliveira. Now, that's some text. That would be a good fight. But man, for some reason, I want to see him. Yeah, that would be a very good fight, actually. But I really want to see him against Ilia Topuria. Maybe he needs to beat Oliveira. If he beats Oliveira, he gets a shot at Ilia. But, they had a crazy beef back in the day. They had a crazy beef, man. And I was there, so it was happening in the hotel. These guys really dislike each other. Let me tell you something. The beef between Topuria and Patty is real. They don't like each other. I have to respect that man. I'm assuming you're talking about Volkanovski, Mr. Contrail, and I totally agree with you. Volkanovski is a legend. But you know what? Lopez is going to be back. He has... He's taken a lot of experience for sure in this fight. He's going to go back. He's going to watch the fight. He's going to tell himself, I should have done this. I should have done that. I want to adjust this in my training. He'll be back, man. He's a serious competitor. He'll be back. Coach, how do you see Prime Connor at 45 versus Ilya? That's from Contrail. Is that Contrail? Sorry if I mispronounced that. I would tell you, I'll pick Topuria. Why? He could pressure McGregor past round 2 and 3 and finish strong. Whereas McGregor, if he doesn't beat you in the first 2 rounds, he kind of starts to unravel. And I think it would go in the later rounds. Topuria has a methodical footwork and head movement. And look, it's not impossible that McGregor hurts him and knocks him out. Obviously, he's a powerful striker, very accurate. I just think that Topuria would get past his kicks, get past his left hand eventually, wear him out, find the body shots, and just put him away. I think he would take McGregor into the deep waters and just really punish him. But that's, obviously just my opinion. And of course, he could take down McGregor. Don't forget, he's a triple threat. He could hurt McGregor on the feet badly. He could take McGregor down. And he's a cardio threat. You know what? He's a quadruple threat. He could sub McGregor. He's got the cardio threat. McGregor's best chance would be to counterpunch Ilya early in the fight and put him away. Because I doubt he could finish strong against Ilya. So I just don't see it happening for him. It would be statistically unlikely that he wins. End of AMA 192. Last question. My friend said yes, and his exams probably end soon. When's the best time for him to visit TriStar? End of AMA 192. Last question. My friend said yes. Oh, he wants to train your friend with the exam question? That's from Talal. Talal, let your friend come train in April. I'll have more free time. Mid-April, I have more free time, my friends. So do come and train. I am in the gym every single day, but I'm busy. So when I will have more free time will be probably in mid-April. Brilliant victory by Volkanovski, guys. Congratulations to the Volkanovski team. Hats off to Volkanovski. Amazing job. stellar performance. Champion again. Congratulations. Really happy for him and his family. Look, Lopez didn't have his best performance. That's for certain. But he will be back. I have no doubt. Yo, Zahabi is going to wreck Aldo soon. Can't wait. That's from the Andrade. How do you say it? Adirondack. Look, it's going to be a tough fight. Aldo is a legend, guys. He's a living legend. My brother gets to fight a living legend. Ayman has 5 wins in a row. Look here. Most title defenses. Aldo is number 1 with 8 defenses, guys. He's a legend. He was featherweight champion for, I think, 6 years. Volkanovski has 7 defenses. Most title wins at featherweight. So Aldo has 8. If you add the WEC, I think he has more than that. So WEC, don't forget, UFC didn't have 145. Their company was called WEC, and then they merged. I'm not sure if they're counting those WEC wins, because officially those should be counted, because that was the top of the world at 145. And my brother's fighting Jose Aldo, man, the legend. So of course we're going there to win. We're gonna go in there with every intention to win. And believe me when I tell you, we are prepping to win. If we don't win, there was nothing we can do to win. Like, that's the level of preparation we're going through. I'm highly confident we're going to win. But don't count Aldo out. He is a dangerous man. And that's what you got to tell yourself when you're fighting. It's going to be a tough fight. You got to be ready for a tough fight, of course. All right, guys. I'm going to answer some of your crazy questions, and then we're going to call it a night. It is 1:22 in the morning. Points should be deducted. Volk ran the whole time. That's from Matt. Matt, if you run and you don't score, I believe you're right. Points should be deducted. But because he was scoring consistently, he was fighting smart. He wasn't being passive. If you're moving, slipping, sliding, stepping out of the way, you're fighting intelligently. As long as you're connecting, you're doing you're getting your offense off. Volk landed plenty. He landed more than Lopez by a significant margin. So he was fighting smart. People said Volk ran. Nah, he was smart not to scrap. That's from Vinnen. He wasn't running. He was fighting smart. He's an intelligent, super experienced, and now 2-time world champion. Black Bear versus Coach. Who wins? Who's Black Bear? You mean a Black Bear? Oh, well. I'll get destroyed, obviously. I'll probably do something stupid like climb a tree and try to like poke him with a branch or something. Obviously, they're great tree climbers, but I think I was wondering, what if you whip him with a branch? You get like a whipping branch. Maybe he's like, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. I know they're super good climbers, that's for sure. All right, we got Gio Martinez versus Mikey Musumeci. Grappling Invitational. That's, is that tomorrow? No, May 29th. Was that say May 29th? So that's ways away. How would this version fare against Taporia? That's from Rob. Rob, I'm assuming you mean Volk. I would still pick Taporia. Honestly. Just Taporia's mechanics, I think, would be too much. He's just too clean. He's too precise. How would it go between Volk and Movsar? That's from Yahya. That's a tricky one. That's a really tricky one. I'd have to do a video analysis, but that's a very, very tricky fight to call. Taporia knocks out Volk 9 times out of 10. That's from Janoris. Maybe not 9 times out of 10. I wouldn't give him that much, but I just would pick Taporia again. I would pick Taporia to win. I think Taporia is just too much. So Hype is asking me to make a video about how to cure arthritis. My wife, yes, she has rheumatoid arthritis. She went into remission with exercise and diet. I highly recommend you read Joel Furman's The End of Dieting. And it's a good book. Okay, he talks about rheumatoid arthritis. Do your research, guys. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a nutritionist, but I will tell you that that's what I did. I did some research. I did a deep dive, And use ChatGPT. Keep a log of what you eat, and ChatGPT can help you track what foods are triggering your arthritis. So ChatGPT can do that for you. You tell it your disease that you were diagnosed with, you give it the details, how old you are and all that. You tell it, today I felt good. It keeps track of, you got to tell it what you ate all the time. You got to tell her what you ate for breakfast, lunch, this and that. You can take pictures and give it to ChatGPT. It'll analyze your food. It'll tell you, oh, look, you had a flare up. Okay, well, it's correlating with these foods. These foods might be triggers. So it'll ask you to not eat it for a while, and then you try it. It helps you reformulate your diet personally to you. Okay, because we might not all have the same triggers. And I think it's a brilliant process that can help you. Now, it's just diet and exercise, but you got to do your research, or I would tell you, read a great book by Joel Furman called The End of Dieting. Would it be good if Volk retires right now so as to end with a win along with the belt? That's from Kaz. I will tell you, look, that's his decision. He's got to decide for himself. Some people don't want to stay home. They want the adventure. They want the thrill of having a fight camp, getting ready for fights. And he probably had the time of his life tonight, fighting in there. So it's up to him. It's really up to him, because he obviously proved he could still do it. Murphy beats Taporia with strategy. He beat Emmett. That's from Tanvir. I don't know, man. I think Taporia is too much for everybody right now at 45. He's moving to 55 now, but at 45, man, I think he's just too much. Can Taporia beat Islam? That's from Textra. He can beat Islam. I just don't think he does beat Islam. I think Islam beats him, but he has a KO possibility. He always has that KO level. He has that level of KO that you can't count him out. What's for breakfast tomorrow? Tomorrow for breakfast, protein scoop in my coffee. That's for sure. The rest I haven't decided yet. Probably eggs and toast, maybe. Speaking of retirement, I want to see GSP in a pure submission grappling match. Dude is a beast. That's from Adirondack. Yes, he is. But he's recovering from shoulder surgery, so we're going to wait a while. But I'm sure you will see him in a grappling super fight down the line. Hey, coach, if Jean Silva fights 4 times a year, how long before he's a superstar? Charles, I think he's a superstar after tonight. He was on the main card. He beat Bryce Mitchell. Bryce Mitchell had all that hype behind him with all the crazy stuff he said online that went viral. And, he's going to be a superstar after tonight. He was already a superstar before tonight, but tonight's going to really put him on the map. He was kind of going through antics during the fight. He was looking away from Bryce while fighting him. Like, he was really nonchalant. It looked like he was playing with Bryce. And he got the finish on top of it. He's probably going to get another bonus. Jean Silva's stock has risen high tonight. So expect him to be well known by even the casuals after tonight. What's next for him? I think they're going to build him up further. They want to build him up to a mega fight for sure. He's a rising star. UFC's going to want to take care of him. For us, who wins, Volkanovski or Movsar? That's from Grinder. I don't think that fight happens, but that would be a very difficult fight to call. I don't know. I really don't know. I'd have to go through their footage and think about it. It's a very tough fight to call. Sensei, coach, what do you think of artificial intelligence? Can it ever be conscious? Also, are you a divine simplicist? I'd have to look up exactly what you mean by that. I'm not familiar with that term, exactly what you mean by that. Let me look it up right now, actually. Divine simplicity. I've definitely heard the term, but I'm forgetting what it exactly means. Divine simplicity is a theological context. It is a concept that God is without parts or composition. He is unified, indivisible, and simple being. It means God's existence, essence, attributes are not distinct, but rather identical, all being unified in God's being. Yes, I believe in divine simplicity. God has characteristics, but without division. So, yes, I would agree with that. If something has parts, it depends on its parts. God doesn't depend on parts. So, no. God is one. He cannot depend on parts. If anything has parts, it once was assembled. That means it depends on an action and on a part. Cannot be the case. It wouldn't be God. So, I believe in divine simplicity, yes. If you mean by that definition that I just read, then yes. Well, RFY. I'm not gonna do Ilya Islam Makhachev analysis right now. If that fight ever happens, I'm gonna do a thorough one for sure. But I'm not gonna do it right now. But if I had to do a quick pick, because you guys keep asking me, I'm gonna answer one last time. I would pick Makhachev. I thought Lopez and Bryce Mitchell would win. That's from Azan. Well, I picked Jean and I picked Pimblett for sure. But I got Lopez wrong. But the Pimblett fight, I was happy to hear was 5-round. The 5-rounder, I was super confident he'd win. Jean Silva, I think we all picked Jean Silva. I think the UFC kind of really wants Jean Silva to put an end to Bryce Mitchell's craziness he's doing online, talking. So I think we all kind of picked that fight. How do you make the protein coffee? Do you use a whisk? Okay, guys, I'm going to show you my personal blender. Okay, give me 1 minute. I'm going to show you how I make that protein coffee. I know everybody's talking about the protein coffee. Even at the gym, guys are talking about the protein coffee. Hold on a second. All right, you heathens. This is what we use. You see? As the coffee's dripping, you got to use a coffee machine because I tried it with instant and it didn't work. The protein wouldn't blend with the coffee. So I pour the coffee. You turn this bad boy on. See? It's like a whisk at the end. See that? And this thing's pretty powerful. It's not expensive at all. And you whisk it. So I whisk it as the coffee's dripping. You could wait till after the coffee's finished dripping, but then you're less likely to get it right. Okay, so as the coffee's dripping, I use that little hand blender thing, and I whisk the smoothest tasting. It tastes incredible. The coffee tastes incredible. Even my wife is drinking protein coffee now in the morning. It's really incredible. Who put you on the protein coffee? That's from Bruce. Bruce, I was like, I need more protein. I need to get more protein in because I put a scoop of protein in my oatmeal, and I'm like, how do I get more protein? I want more protein. I'm bulking up here. And I'm like, let me try to my cup of coffee. And then I use this bad boy because I got this bad boy to make ice creams. Okay, because I make protein ice creams and then I freeze them and I use the Ninja Creamy. So I'm like, let me try it in the coffee. So I did it. And it was the best tasting coffee ever. And I'm like, oh my God, I can have 2 cups a day with this kind of coffee. I have it as a dessert. Today I had a nice healthy lunch and then I had a nice protein coffee as a dessert. Why? I have the chocolate peanut butter flavored protein. I put it in there and it's amazing. And my wife's very picky. So I made her a protein coffee. I didn't tell her. I was like, drink this coffee, but don't ask me what's in it. My wife's the kind of person, she wants to know what's in it before she tastes it. She's like my daughter. They want to know, they want to decide if they like it before they drink it. Because if you tell them a certain agreement, they're going to be like, oh, no, you put that in there? I won't have it. I won't have it. No, I know I'm not going to like it. So I'm like, no, I'm not going to tell you what's in it. I want you to consume the beverage. And then I'll tell you what's in it. I actually made her leave the room while I made it. She drank it. She's like, oh, it's really good. It's very tasty. And I'm like, yeah. I put a scoop of protein in there and I blended it. And she was like, oh, really? Oh, wow, I can't believe it. Now she starts doing it herself. She enjoys the protein coffee. Why? I buy a really good grade iso protein, like very good grade. It's like premium protein. Okay, it's pretty expensive. It's like I get this huge tub for like $180, but I have it like 2 or 3 scoops a day. And here's the thing: when you drink your coffee, you gotta let it dissolve in your mouth, or else you're gonna have gas. Okay, so if you don't want gas, 1, buy a very good protein. 2, when you drink the protein, you have to let it dissolve in your mouth, because all the gases, sugars that are not dissolved, right? So when you drink it, you gotta let it dissolve in your mouth. You gotta let it get sweet in your mouth. Once it's sweet, you could swallow. Coach, what's your sleep schedule with Salah and training? That's from Kalistania. Could be a little bit tough, okay, but you could do Jamaat, especially when you're traveling. But that's a question more for a mufti, okay? Yes, it's tough, but for me, I'm used to it. So it can be, I just go right back to bed, so I get my 8 hours of sleep. Zahabi beats Aldo now. It's the time, inshallah, at Arandak, inshallah. Inshallah, time will tell. What else we got here, guys? I'm going to end this shortly. Let's end it on something fun now. Get a $20 one. Anything under is cheap and not strong. That's what I'm saying. Are you talking about like $20 case of protein? No, I wouldn't trust that protein. I want protein that's tested. Like, I know there's not junk in there, because if you're buying really cheap protein, they probably have a lot of fillers. They don't verify what's on the label. If it says it's, let's say, 25 grams of protein, they don't verify that unless there's like complaints, or people don't. There's no governing body that I'm aware of that tests their claims, right? So they can be giving you all sorts of junk. That's why I'd rather buy a premium brand. All right, guys, let's end it on something cool, funny, lighthearted. Thoughts on fighting with bad vision? Is it feasible? That's from Yaya. Absolutely not. Yaya, that's crazy. No, you can get really hurt. Now, I know Biz being fought with an injured eye, or he's missing vision in his eye, and look what happened to him. He got knocked out by George, and he got knocked out soon after again by Kelvin. So it's just very dangerous. Very, very dangerous. If you get hit with a shot you didn't see, you could be in a lot of trouble. The device is called Milk Frother. Thank you, Tarviz. Milk Frother, guys. It makes the coffee nice and fluffy, airy. It's really amazing. That protein has picograms. That's right, Noah. You're right. Don't buy the same protein brand that John Jones buys. Only short-sightedness, not blindness. That's from Yaya. Well, I'm not short-sighted, so I wouldn't know. I never really asked anybody who's short-sighted that box. I don't know if I know anybody who's short-sighted that box. I'm sure I do. Short-sighted, is that when you can't see from close? Because I'm short-sighted, so I could tell you it's not a problem if that's the case. Hey, Coach, are you concerned about microplastics? Yes, Charles, I am. I am concerned. That's why I try to avoid consuming anything with flexible plastic. Coach, thoughts on Sabur versus Farina debate? That's from Zach. I thought it was great. I think Sabur did a very good job. I don't think that, Farina was just there to insult and instigate and try to, he wasn't engaging with the material. The problem with Farina is he can't think outside of the scientific method. The scientific method is not absolute. We can demonstrate that. Philosophers can definitely demonstrate that. When you think about a topic so deeply, you have to philosophize about it. I don't care what topic. If you're going to talk about math at the highest levels, you have to become a philosopher. If you're going to talk about engineering at the highest levels, you're going to have to become a philosopher. If you're going to talk about martial arts at the highest levels, you're going to have to become a philosopher. That's why they call it a PhD. You're philosophizing about the science now. You're thinking so highly. That's what it's supposed to be. But Farina, he only wants to talk at a certain level. Anything higher than that? Nope, nope, nope. Talk to me about the math, the science, the physics. But dude, that's the whole point of these, because Sabor is citing very deep thinkers that have thought about evolution. And they're saying, what does it mean to have natural selection? What does it mean to have random mutation? What does it mean to have these two things together? What does it mean? How do we define these words? What is the mechanism? So these are very deep questions, not my field, okay? But logic and science, logic and philosophy is definitely my field. So I can sit there and kind of understand what fallacies they may or may not be committing, and how do they know what they claim they know? That's epistemology. That's what I do. So of course, whatever they say, I want to hear their references. I want to do my own research. I want to see, is that the consensus? If so, why is it? And if not, why not? So, Farina just can only regurgitate what he's learned in his books. He can't think outside the track. He can't go to the deeper level where we're asking, what does it mean if this is what we're observing? Because all he was like, oh, evolution is true. We all observe change. His argument was quite circular, actually, believe it or not. Okay, because he's saying, look, Darwin is true because we see change. We see change over time. But change over time is Darwinism, is what he's saying. So it's true because we observe it. So how do you know it's true? Because we observe it. What are you observing? I'm observing Darwinism. Okay. Now, I got that part. Fine. Perfect. Now let's go to the next level. What's causing the change? Darwinism. Well, Darwinism is a concept. You told me you observe Darwinism. You're labeling change over time as Darwinism. We're asking you, what's the cause of the change over time? And here was another question he just couldn't answer. Does change over time in a microscopic level account for macroscopic change and mind? Can that account for, or is it just part of the equation? Does that account for everything? Therefore, evolution explains body and mind at our level. Or is there more? Now, Sabur was citing Noble saying there is more. There has to be more. He's talking about the one-eyed watchmaker, meaning the process is guided because there has to be more. Blind evolution wouldn't produce mind and body, or that's why we're asking that can neo-Darwinism, does it have the explanatory scope to explain what we observe now at our level, the human brain and mind? That was the question. That was the central question. And Farina could just go back to, we observe change, therefore Darwinism is true. We observe change, therefore Darwinism is true. Okay, you keep repeating that. We all agree that there's change over time. Now here's the thing. Darwinism to me is a universal. Don't forget I'm a nominalist, but I have to explain to him what nominalism is. It's not nominalism. Darwinism is never observed. All we're observing is change over time. Those are individual particulars. In philosophy, we call those particulars. We're seeing particular events. Then you're dreaming up a force you call Darwinism. I don't observe that force. All I'm observing is patterns and regularities. There's a distinction here with a difference. Because don't forget, Darwinism presupposes randomness. To me, I reject randomness. I don't think any human being can ever prove randomness. Pierre-Simon Laplace, guys, don't take it from me. This has been debated on at the highest level. Even David Hume, the biggest atheist, admitted there is no randomness. But to say that to Farina would blow his top. He's like, what are you talking about? Talk about physics, talk about science. We are talking about science. That's the thing. We're talking about science at the highest level. In philosophy, we refer to what scientists say. We say, look, they're using this type of logic. Here are the strengths, here are the weaknesses. It's epistemology. I spent the last 25 years of my life doing this. More than 25 years. David Hume, the biggest atheist, one of the best philosophers ever, admits to this. So it's not something like only theists say. No, it's not true. That's irrelevant. People say, oh, you're saying that because you're a theist. No, I'm saying that because that's our consensus. Pierre-Simon Laplace was known as the French Newton. The only reason you didn't learn about Pierre-Simon Laplace is because he was outshined by Sir Isaac Newton. But after Sir Isaac Newton, he's the second. Like he's right up there, man. Galileo, Isaac Newton, they're up there. Right below, right, just a hair below, you have Pierre-Simon Laplace. He's up there, okay? And he dispelled the misunderstanding of randomness. It's a byproduct of the human imagination. It's a projection of the mind. I'm not going to go into it now because we talked about it so many times, and we will talk about it again in the future. But it's what's crazy. Like, I wouldn't bring that up to Farina, really. I have to sit down and explain it to him because he doesn't get what these guys are talking about at the highest level. It's just crazy because you'd have to be a little bit more open-minded to understand these kind of ideas. That's the thing. It's like, if I ask Dave Farina, what is science? Well, he's going to tell me, look, the scientific method. Okay, who invented the scientific method? He's going to have to go, if he knew the true answer, the modern day scientific method, it's philosophers. Hassan ibn al-Haytham, a famous Muslim scholar who was also philosophizing. Philosophizing, guys, just means like you're using advanced logic, okay? Aristotle was a philosopher. He helped promote, and I shouldn't say just promote, he helped develop the scientific method. He laid the groundwork. Philosophers created the scientific method. They thought really, really hard on how do you know something is true? Well, you got to remove subjectivity. How do you remove subjectivity? And they came up with this thing called the scientific method for empirical observations. It was made by philosophers. Philosophers, we look at the scientific method and we talk about it all the time, and we try to understand what is this thing that human beings are doing. But Farina only is he's like a trained dog. He only knows how to do the scientific method. He doesn't understand how we came up with it, the history, where it's strong, where it's weak. He doesn't understand the back end or the axioms behind them. He might know the axioms superficially, but he doesn't understand how we came up with them, how philosophers came up with these axioms, why they came up with these axioms, what do they mean, what type of logic are we using here. So he's just not at that level to think of a topic that deeply. He can just repeat the textbooks, and even some of the stuff in the textbook he didn't know. Sabur had to inform him, which just goes to show nobody knows everything. But he's so antagonistic that he's kind of like, you can't really have a conversation because they both hate each other so much. They're just so much insulting each other that it's like the science is it's taking a back seat. We're just trying to kill each other here. So I think they have to get over that. We have to get over that. Look, let's not say the other side is stupid, because look, the real truth is Farina thinks anybody who's a theist is stupid. Well, he's wrong about that. The greatest intellects in the world, many of them were theists. So he's got to get over that. He has a prejudice because he's like, oh, if you believe in design, you're stupid. If you believe in creationism, you're stupid. Well, engage with the argument. Philosophize with us. Don't just rely on scientific method, because the scientific method, I don't want to blow your top here, but the scientific method is mute on God. The scientific method has nothing to do with commenting on God. You have to philosophize about the scientific method to say whether there's a God or not. Because the scientific method, there's no scientific experiment you can create that tells you whether there's a God or not. All science does is tell us about patterns and regularities found in nature. That's it. It's predictive. It does do other things, but this is the core of science. Trust me when I tell you, if you ask philosophers of science, what is science? They're going to tell you, look, it's a complicated thing. There's no one neat answer. But it's the belief that the future will behave like the past and that there's a pattern. What we saw in the past will happen again in the future. The universe we live in, the world we live in, the multiverse, if you will, is uniform. It's intelligible. That's an axiom, by the way. All right, guys, that wasn't fun and light. Let's do something fun and light. Copenhagen versus Born has never really been settled. That's from Chris. Chris, you're 100% correct. But I'm not going to go into that spiel because it's going to be too long. Hey, Coach, how can I make my woman submit to my leadership? That's from Bruce. I want you to put on your earphones and listen to 48 hours of Andrew Tate. I'm just kidding. That was a joke. That was a joke. Don't say that. It's not correct. What was I gonna say? How do you You can't make her submit to your leadership. You got to be, look, you want the honest truth? I'm going to get a little Machiavellian. You got to be smarter, stronger, wiser, richer, and then she'll start to look up to you and kind of naturally gravitate towards that. But if she doesn't demean you, if she doesn't think of you as smarter, wiser, stronger, when I say stronger, I don't just mean physically, kind, if she doesn't see these attributes in you, she's going to turn off a switch in her mind. She's going to turn off a switch. So you got to, my opinion, don't show weakness. Be able to provide and protect. It's super important. It's paramount. And don't be a dummy, like know stuff about the world, know about current events, know about things. Know things, guys. Know things. Why do we do this podcast? One generation is teaching the other, teaching you guys to know things, to know how to handle your business. And if you fail on these things and you're lazy, you're going to suffer a consequence. Guys, I'm going to leave you with this. Don't forget, pain is trying to teach you something. Whenever you have pain in your life, ask yourself, what is this pain trying to teach me? I have to change so this pain goes away. Pain is temporary until you learn your lesson. There is a lesson to be learned. I know sometimes it feels like pain is just life. People tell me pain is just life, man. Sometimes pain is just life and there's no sense to it. I disagree with you. Pain is part of life, yes. But pain, there's always a lesson. If you figure out the lesson, the pain vanishes. And then you find a pleasure. When the pain is gone, you have a rush, a sensation. Don't forget, pleasure is the relief of pain. You are hungry. When you eat, the relief of that hunger is pleasure. You were cold. Somebody gives you a blanket. You have a heightened sense of well-being. Now, I'm warming up. It's a great feeling. When you're thirsty, somebody gives you a drink. The more thirsty you were, the more pleasure you get from quenching your thirst. Friends, never forget what I just said. Pain is there to teach you something. Learn your lesson and let the pain dissolve, and the reward of pleasure. Enjoy the reward of pleasure. Friends, I'll leave you with that. Good night. Thank you all for tuning in.